Peace unto you all. This is the mastery course for the eclipse preparation. This is day 2. Day 2 of the mastery course for eclipse preparation. We're going to wait for a few more people to come in and we're going to continue on. This is day 2. Now we're going to be going live for 7 days. This is day 2. On the 8th day, the day of the eclipse, everyone integrate all the information that we've been displaying, we as in unison, for this eclipse. This eclipse is extremely, extremely powerful. You have some beings that feel like they have to, be so secluded. No, you don't have to. What is an eclipse, everybody? An eclipse, if you was watching the day 1, and I did figure out how to download it. It's taking a while, so after this one, I'm going to download this one, and we're going to download the other one and post them both on the YouTube so y'all can see day 1 and day 2. Day 1, we're going to go over it a little bit. Essentially, an eclipse in its most symbolic form is shining light and shedding light on things in a different way. That's all an eclipse is in its most symbolic form. So, you have some people that we thought were so untouchable, and then they eventually got caught up, in any industry. And you have people that feel like they was never going to experience, bliss or, abundance. And let's say you have a business, you never thought your business was going to boom, and then all of a sudden it starts booming. That is essentially because an eclipse is just shining light on everything differently. So you have some people that is in the quote unquote dark scattering. They are scattering because everything was hitting, now it's revealed. And the people that say don't go outside or, do like all the fear mongering stuff, that's simply just because they aren't right within. And we're utilizing the term right and wrong just for human transcription. In truth, there is no right or wrong. There's only what we accept and what we choose to not accept. Okay? This is seen through the lens of source. There is only what you accept and what you choose to not accept. There is not a right or wrong. So, this is stage, by the way, everybody. We're getting the feels, everything together. We're so very, very grateful. So to go over what we talked about in day 1 for the mastery course for eclipse preparation. Day 1, you ask yourself these 2 questions. Question 1, what do I like to do? We figure out what you like to do when you look at your day-to-day. What do you do in your day-to-day? What is your routine? All right, now question 2 is what serves for me. You know what serves for you by understanding what makes you feel good, what choices make you feel good on the inside. That's the 2 questions you should be asking yourself, because this eclipse is going to be shedding light on your life differently. So you have to know yourself. You know the sayings way back when, know thyself. You have to know yourself, because if you do not know yourself, you're going to get swept with the ocean. This is essentially like learn how to swim or drown. That's what this energy is about. Now, you have some people, and I see sources saying, reel it in, reel it in. All right, so look. We have some people that understand we're all connected. But you also have some people, essentially, who feel like they're soulless. Now, let's touch on this for a second. Everyone that is on Earth right now, and this is all still reeling in the information that we presented from yesterday. Remember, we're doing this for 7 days. Everybody that is on Earth right now has a spirit. Everybody that is on Earth right now has a soul. You cannot make it to this planet without having a spirit or a soul. The people that act like they understand what's going on in the machinations of the universe and all of this, listen. My name is Nadiie. I astral project every single night. And Source is finally giving me clearance to go into this realm in the spirit realm. Now, the reason why that is so important is any being, let's say we're not in the 3rd dimension anymore. But let's, for conversation's sake, let's say we were in the 3rd dimension, right? Well, if you're in the 3rd dimension, if you was to astral project, you would not go to that same dimension. You would not go to the 3rd dimension in the spirit realms. The reason is because integrity. You will have some beings that will try to go into their dimension to find out the lottery numbers. That's not what we're here for. This is how prophets are made. Prophets essentially are given clearance from the beyond to go into their realm in the spirit realms, and they'll see everything. So essentially, I seen everything as one day. I seen people that was arguing with each other. Here, they're, kumbayaing together, mother-daughter relationships that was not holy at all. Like they're mended. Everything just seemed like one continuous day. People was driving to jobs that feel like they never could, get certain jobs and stuff like that. And essentially what makes a prophet is seeing all of this, recognizing that isn't being experienced in our day-to-day and what we call physical reality, and then bringing that information back and translating it to the people. It's like, look, I seen you with your mother, and y'all was having a very grand old time. You and your mother, your relationship shall mend. We know that to be so. So, boom. As a recap, to prepare yourself for this eclipse, step 1, you ask yourself, what do I like to do? Step 2, you ask yourself, what serves for me? Okay, what you like to do is your routine. What serves for you is the choices that you integrate. Now, you anchor what the miracle is. First, to know what a miracle is to know what a miracle is. A miracle is simply an undoer. That's all a miracle is. It undoes. See, this world is so constricted. It wants to hold on to everything. I want my relationship to last forever. I want this job to last forever. I never want to share my money. I never want to share the food in my house. Why are you knocking on my door to try to get some rest in my house? No, this is not a party spot. Like, everybody is so restricted. They want to hold on tight. Well, the miracle undoes. It loosens the grip. When you're hugging on somebody real tight, it hurts. So the reason why people are hurting on this planet, the reason why Earth is hurting and all of this is because we're just holding on so tight. Then the miracle steps in. So you ask yourself these 2 questions, and then you know what the miracle is, which is this, the undoer. The miracle gives nothing. It puts you back at 0 and says, what? Choose again. All right, that's the theme for the miracle. The miracle puts you back at 0, and then what? Choose again. That's what it asks of you. Choose again. And remember, life is a continuous moment. All right? Time is not so. That's why and this is all for the mastery course for Eclipse. Because if you don't know yourself isn't just, I'm a doctor, I'm a artist. Yourself is not just, I'm a person that wants to expose the dark. I'm a food reviewer. Yourself is not just these things. You're far beyond all of these things. Like Albert Einstein said, you cannot solve a problem with the same mind that created it. You cannot solve a problem with the same mind that created it. So, to translate that into this spirit realm, you cannot figure out the beyond and figure out your total holy self using an unholy mind. It's only your mind that feels like when it stubs its toe, it hurts. When you're in the astral realms, you feel not pain. And this goes into what we were speaking about when I remember we dropped a video called Satan Isn't Real. You had people actually defending their enemy. People were actually defending their enemy. I'm like, listen, hate isn't real. You know how we know? Because we went to the dimensions. But let's just play their game, right? You say heaven is eternal paradise and heaven is bliss, right? Well, look up your definitions. Bliss, paradise. There's only bliss and paradise. There's only love. There's no hate. So if that is where you want to go, it's as above, so below. In this world, the so below, if you want to become a great businessman, you have to put on the great businessman mind. You have to become the businessman. Well, it's the same thing when you go to heaven. You're not going to experience heaven until you become it now. That's how it happens. And I know this to be facts because I astral project every single night. One of my friends, they transitioned due to, he was a bullet victim, okay? Let's just say it like that because I know TikTok and their guidelines. He transitioned, and because our friend group was of the hood, nobody was really into spirituality but me. When I astral projected one night, he came to me. And he came to me so humble, and he was like, Nadiie, guide me to get away from this stuff. Because even when he transitioned to the afterlife, he was still kicking in the hood. Because sometimes when people transition, they don't know they transitioned. And people that astral project, they know that to be true. You'll see souls that transition and they think they're still alive because there's this buffering realm, and all of this is important because you have to know yourself. So when this transition happens, then you'll be able to experience that which is your full expression, bliss. You'll be able to go to the places you want to go, but you have to know yourself. So essentially, as we anchor what this information is, one, you ask yourself the two questions. The one question is, what do I like to do? You know what you like to do when you anchor your routine. Question two, what serves for me? That's the choices you enjoy. Step three, all right, is understand what the miracle is. The miracle is a undoer, all right? Because the world wants to hold on tight and restrict so much. So the miracle loosens everything up. Because when you hug somebody very, very tight, it hurts. Now, step four. Step four is you see through the eyes of God. You put on God's glasses, Source's glasses. You see everything as an opportunity. And when you understand what is miraculous within your own life, then you'll see everything through defaults. So if you're a being who feels like you are a doctor or an artist, or if you know, once you ask yourself the two questions and you anchor what is truth within your own essence, then you'll be able to see through the lens of who you are. Now, when you're able to see through the lens of who you are, see everything as opportunity. We have a kitchen in our house. We have a bike. We have a dog. We have, a garden. We can go outside. We have neighbors. You look at everything as an opportunity and you ask yourself, is this going to feed what my purpose is? Is this going to feed what my purpose is? If watching videos on TikTok about ratchetness is not going to feed what your purpose is, don't do it. You need to have some type of discipline. If eating that candy bar isn't going to help you, don't do it. But if it is, then don't judge yourself. And don't listen to other people that want to send judgments. Because right now, it's not about judging your brother. Right now, it's not about judging your sister. Right now, it's not about judging your mother, your family, your friends. Right now, it's about coming together. Because you have forces that want to push everybody away. Being a master is not displaying a very powerful technique, or a siddhi, as we call it. A siddhi is a very ancient gift. That's not what being a master is about. Being a master is bridging. If I understand you utilize the term Allah, I'm going to say Allah, because God cares not about the journey, only the destination. A warlock can become the most grandest priest in the history of the world. Detroit Red became Malcolm X, but it's only the mindset of a judgment person. It's only the mindset of one who sees themselves and not everyone else, that says you can never evolve into this, or you can never connect. Never? What do you mean never? I am that I am, as are you. So you anchor all of this information. You see everything as an opportunity. Once you see everything as an opportunity, if it is not serving, Source don't even care if you revert back on April 9th. All Source is saying is show up. Because if you fall flat on your face, all we're going to do is forgive you. All we're going to do is forgive you. And all we're going to do is forgive ourselves and continuously move on. Forgiveness is simply you forgive yourself first for constructing this reality, for hiring these beings, for hiring anybody, the good and what we call the bad. And then you forgive all others for participating. See, as we move forth within this anchoring, this energy, you ask yourself the two questions. What do I like to do? What serves for me? You understand what the miracle is. The miracle is a undoer. It brings you back to zero and says, what? Choose again. Then you anchor that which is Source's lenses. You put on God's glasses and you see everything in your life as an opportunity. And when you ask yourself the questions, you're going to align yourself with what the truth is, with who you are. And if anything that you see in your day-to-day has nothing to do with who you are, leave it. Leave it now. Now we're going to roll in to day two and what day two is all about. Day one is anchoring that foundation. All right? Day one is anchoring that foundation. Before we move on to day two, I'm going to read some of these comments for everybody. If you have any questions before we start really into day two, because day two is all about collaboration. It's all about collaboration, anchoring the energies. Just like the monks, when everybody was, there's hundreds and hundreds of monks over there praying together, meditating together. It's about collaboration right now. If you can't see past your own reality right now, you're gonna drown in that ocean. And guess what? The lifeguard is gonna come, bring you out the water, light the miracle, and say, what? Choose again. You want to swim again? I can do this all day. I'm a lifeguard. This is my job. My job as a light worker is to work with you for eternity, timelessness, until we all get it together. Because I don't go home until you go home. Why? Because we're one. It's actually happened to me. For the beings that are remembering who I am. My name is Nadiie Black. My birthday is 010101. If you know numerology, if you know what's going on in the world and why certain things are happening and speaking up, just me telling you that, you should know exactly who I am. It serves not to speak any of that. It's an essence, it's a knowing. Now that we anchored this information, we align ourselves with Christ consciousness, or what we call God's will. We say, refer to each other as God's will. If you have a hard time saying God is, okay, that's cool. Let's just say God's will. You're the will of God at least, at the very least. God, if God had a home, right, and it was about to transition to another life, you know how you write your own will? So God is going to put you in his will. At the very least, if you can't see yourself as an image of God, at least we can say, okay, I feel like God, I feel like, you know, I've been experiencing enough love in my life. I could be in the will of God. Refer to each other not as brother, not as sister, not as God, not as king, not as queen, but as God's will. Very simple. And that will guide your consciousness to expand, and then you will start hearing certain beings say source. Now, you can still say God. You can still say Allah. We all know what we talk about. It's an energy. It's a feeling. We need not to utilize all of the same language and stuff. It's about meeting each other where we are. So now, let's read some of these comments. If you have any questions before we reel into the day 2's teachings, we're doing this for 7 days, y'all. Every day, 8 o'clock until the 7th, we're going live. We're teaching about this eclipse. So you can anchor this energy. So we can push back all of the craziness. Because look, before we start reading these comments, because sources is just coming. What people must understand that we're no longer in the physical reality. We're no longer in the physical reality. The spirit realms, the astral realms, and the physical reality has now merged. How do we know this? You can't create portals in the physical reality. You actually have scientists on the 8th going to be shooting things in the sky to create portals. You can't create portals in the physical reality. You can only create portals in the spirit realms. That should have been an alert for everybody. You don't see ETs in Miami and all of this type of stuff unless you're in the spirit realms. Even if it's a hoax, to have that mass just like consciousness shift, that's something that happens in the spirit realms. These type of things only happen in the spirit. You don't see, people that are talking about this information being so widespread. Like, for example, like Rashad Jamal, for example. Michael Murdad, Ryan Cropper. Like, all of these beings that are talking about the light, they got so popular. That doesn't happen in a world of darkness. That happens in a world of light. Because light attracts light. You attract what you are. We're actually in New Earth now. And you have beings wanting to create portals to bring us back to old Earth. Because they figured out they can't utilize all of the malarkey, that power-hungry energy anymore. So the reason why you have masters like me, masters like Michael Murdad, doing this for 8 days, and even though I'm not going to be recording on the 8th day, I'm holding space for everybody. I am meditating all day. I'm astral projecting after the meditation to make sure everybody that joins this live is good. Everybody that joins this live, you have made the shift. Because there is actually a divine law. What you see is what you are. If you see Christ in me, if you see God's will, if you don't align with the term Christ, say God's will. If you see God's will in me, if you see source in me, source is abundance, there's a divine law. What you see is what you are. You can't see what you're not. So you're aligning yourself with the truth by being even attracted to this. The fact that you clicked on this live and said, hold on, there's a big energy shift. And I know everything is shifting because even in the last live, it was a buildup of people. Now, since we did that, because me and other masters all did it at the same day, when that consciousness flooded the planet, boom, a lot more people joined instantly. They was like, yo, I don't feel like I want to watch these videos that aren't going to service my soul. Right now, it's about servicing your soul. So let's read some of these comments before we get into today. We said some user 989, I don't want to go to the hospital on the day it feels off. You shouldn't go to the hospital, right? The eclipse. What is an eclipse? An eclipse is simply shining light on something differently. The people that thought they could just remain in the dark are now being in the light. Exposing is not just about the bad. It's also what serves for us is good. You can expose the light. You know, people that we want to be so in the forefront that teaches this type of information. You can share the video. You can like the video. See, we don't realize how much power we have in our palms. If you want to go to heaven tomorrow, you can share and like this video, take it everywhere. All that's going to do is essentially put the consciousness out. It's not just going to promote Nadiie. It promotes the consciousness because Nadiie is source's abundance embodied. I'm the Christ, as are you, for we are one. There's no difference between us. All this does is put the consciousness out. So then people get inspired by the consciousness. And then when more people get inspired by the consciousness, then it starts to grow. I tell people all the time, I'm not special at all. I'm only special here. And this is where you realize that, oh, we fell very far. Because in heaven, in the light realms, in paradise, and what we call God's domain, everybody is equal. And everybody is equally in this light. So if a being that is equal, every people on this planet see equal as average. So I would be considered the average being in heaven. Because we're all equal. But if the average being is now looked at as this revered master, it's like, whoa. Why don't y'all see that for yourself? I'm not special at all. I'm just God's child. But we're all God's child. That doesn't make sense. What do you mean you can't fly? What do you mean you can't astral project? What do you mean you're killing your brothers and your sisters? What do you mean? We don't even perceive hate. Will you go into this? The reason why we said Satan isn't real. This is all important for the mastery course for the eclipse. Because you have to, day one was all about knowing yourself. You're asking yourself those questions. You're answering them. Day two is about integrating the truth and collaborating. Right now, we have to make a stand. It's not choosing a side. And that still falls into the duality games. We're not warring with nobody anymore. It's taking a stand. You're either going to be for the light or you're not. And if you're not, you still have grace. We still have our arms open waiting. You can share this video. You can like this video. You can share other masters' videos. You can watch Michael Murdad as he's doing his, live. When Nadiie goes off of the live, go to Michael Murdad. Watch his live, 8 days. Go to any other master that got this call. Like I said, people, yesterday, I didn't even know I was going to go live. Yesterday was my first time going live on TikTok. I only went live in my mystery school. Yes, we have a mystery school. But Source was like, no, do it now for the people. I'm like, Source, I don't have nothing prepared. Source said, show up. You are God's child. You are my son. Show up. I'm going to say what I got to say. I'm like, all right, God. All right, let's go. I like that talk. Let's go. Boom. Everything just started flooding through. All Source asks for you is to show up. One share of the light. Oh, I don't want to share Nadiie. Then find a leader that you like. The light is the light. I'm Rashad Jamal. I'm Michael Murdad. I'm Jesus. I'm Buddha. You're Rashad Jamal. You're Michael Murdad. You're Jesus. You're Buddha. You're Gandhi. You're Krishna. You're Yogananda. You're all of these beings. We are one. There's not God's children. It's God's child. One child that thought itself as separate. We're all connected. So when you explain to yourself these questions, and you integrate what the truth is, when you show up, that's all that's required. You have Jamel, I agree. We have someone said, my name is Edward. He's like, bro, stop watching movies. I actually don't watch movies. I don't. My life is a movie. Your life is a movie. We're the star in our own movies. I astral project every night. Astral projection. You're leaving the physical body and you're in the spirit realms with your astral body. It feels like I'm actually going to drive fast because Source said in order for you to channel this information as, beautifully as possible, Nadiie, you can't be heavy. All of this stuff, you have to literally live off of light. I'm on a dry fast. No food, no water, full 24 hours. This is day 2 of it. And you don't, like, Source is essentially saying, Nadiie, it's all in your mind, what you think you need. Who cares about what these doctors and everybody say? When you live in the light, when you live in that which is miraculous, the miracle energy, anything is possible. See, people, they do silent doubting. And we're still going to get to these comments, but, Source is coming through. The moment Source comes through, we're just saying it. People do silent doubting. People will be on the spiritual path. They'll talk about the light and everything, but then they'll be like, oh, you need to get to your doctor, or, oh, you need to make sure you do this, or you need to make sure you take this pill and take that pill. That's silent doubting, because what you're saying is you can't do it by yourself. You can't do what you think you can do as pertains to making your health be in a perfect alignment with just Source. You can't use just God. Nah, get a pill, please. Go to your doctor, please. Huh? Oh, but there's African tribes that haven't seen a doctor in a very long time, and they're fine. And you have some people that be like, well, what about those ones? Listen, when people integrate what the truth is, I'm Sikh, Native American, Blackfoot, and English. This is something that's been passed down. We need not anything outside of ourselves. That's what Vision Quest is all about. Vision Quest, for people that didn't know, because people, they want to restrict Yeshua, and I see why Yeshua's coming through again. People want to restrict Yeshua. In the native cultures, Yeshua actually traveled the world. That's why he's worldwide. He wasn't just in one area. He wasn't just belonging to one religion. Like, he didn't even want to be in a religion to begin with. He had a church called The Way, a ministry called The Way. You start piecing everything together. And Yeshua, he traveled everywhere. He went to the UK. We already know about that. But he also went to the native lands. And he taught Native Americans about Vision Quest. So Yeshua, Christ consciousness embodied, told us about Vision Quest. Taking a long journey by yourself in the forest, going to the highest mountain peak. And sometimes we utilize any particular, herb or mushroom or whatnot. But most of the time it's clear mind. You go to the highest mountain peak, you pray, and you go to sleep, and then you'll receive a vision. Like clockwork, every single trip. If you have that intention, you find a mountain, it can even be a little hill. With that right intention, you'll get a vision. It's just a fact. We've conducted many, many vision quests because we don't just teach on technology. You don't just need technology. We've held many, many gatherings in physicality, and the people that came to our gatherings in physicality, they was like, Nadiie, you should start recording this. But, I was performing miracles and stuff, so it was like, they was like, I don't know if you should record that part. I don't know if it's going to translate well, Nadiie, but you should at least teach. And I was like, well, all right, I will try. And I'll teach for 8 months before any video blew up. Be disciplined. 8 months, 200 views before something blew up. Yeah, you got Cecil B. DeMills talking about 5D. I'm going to read these comments and we're going to move into the teachings of today. Day 2, we're going to be going live. 7 days teaching, anchoring. You're literally living what the Emerald Tablets is. You're living it. People are going to be scribing about you. Yeshua, and we're going to talk about a quote Yeshua gave us 2 days ago. Yeshua, A.K.A. Jesus, all right? This being came to us 2 days ago and was like, Nadiie, it's always interesting to me that people want to live like me, they want to be like me, and they want to dress like me. But Nadiie, if I was in your time, I would not be wearing these robes and these garments. I would be wearing Jordans. I would look like you. What I wore, how I talked, that was how we all talked and what we all wore in our time. In your time, I would look just like you. I would look like your peers. And then he left. It's so very powerful because essentially Yeshua is multidimensional as I saw, and it's not linear. Source is not linear. So there's multiple ways to anchor this information. But one of the most important things to anchor as it pertains to that is a master could be any single person you see. The most ratchet person, the master could be the strip person in the strip club. The master could be the person in the club. Yeshua is literally saying, Nadiie, I would look like you. At all your peers, I would dress like them. It's a time, it's a culture thing. So don't judge another because you don't know who you're judging, especially now. Love everybody because you don't know who you can very well be judging an angel. Because look, people want to avoid the dark areas, avoid the hood, avoid these places. It's like, if you're not going to bring light to these areas, then who will? If you're intentionally ignoring the people that think they're suffering and you're not providing any light, who will? You have actual masters that's like, I will. You have Yeshua, you have Buddha, you have me, you have Michael Murdad, you have you, because you showed up in this live today, day 2 out of 7 days. You showed up and you said, I don't know fully how to extend myself. I may not want to teach. I may like drawing though. I may like cooking. I may like this. Whatever you know serves for you and it is part of your existence. When you come here and you anchor this, that's what the truth is. And that's what we put out. That's a master. That's you showing up for everybody else. Because you have people that just feel like they have nothing to offer this world. So when you anchor these 2 questions, what do you like to do? What serves for you? You know, what you like to do is your routine, your day-to-day. What serves for you is the choices that you actually enjoy. When you actually anchor this information, you're feeding the collective consciousness saying it's okay to know. So then the beings that feel like they don't know what they want to do, they don't feel like they can be happy, all you do is you put a loving thought above them. Because even science proves that thoughts are outside of yourself. They put a little thing on your head and say you think about something and they see the energy around your head and they can, in the computer, say, oh, this person is thinking about this. That's proven. And from the videos that I watched, that look like old technology. So it's like you don't even know what they can do now. They can, you know what I'm saying? They can plant thoughts in your brain for all we know. So then we got electromagnetic being. There we go. Come on, tongue. We will always be in height, width, depth, 3rd dimension. If you choose to. See, look, God doesn't say no, yes. God says, and so it is. If you want to stay in the 3rd dimension, bravo. I'm not going. I'm not staying. and you've been duped for even thinking that because we're not in the 3rd dimension anymore. Spiritual things like ETs showing up frequently, portals being opened, scientists wanting to create portals, people astral projecting en masse, people having sacred geometry all over, people utilizing crystals, the dark energy being exposed, industries crumbling. All of that happens when the light enters a field. Everything that was not of the light, it just, and it runs away. You're not in the 3rd dimension. This type of stuff doesn't happen in the 3rd dimension. If we were still in the 3rd dimension, Hollywood and everything will be still on top. Hollywood runs the 3rd dimension. It runs density. If we were still in the 3rd dimension, Hollywood would be on top. Another red flag, aside from the scientists on the 8th, they're utilizing every being knows numerology, they all know astrology, they know astronomy, they know everything. And they're utilizing all of them because even if they don't believe it, they're saying on the off chance that it's real, I'm going to use it. If we were in the 3rd dimension still, Hollywood would not be crumbling. That's red flag 2. Red flag 1 is, what do you mean scientists are on the 8th, want you to create a portal to bring us back to old Earth? Well, you can't create portals in the physical realm. Oh, we're in the spiritual realm. 2, what do you mean Hollywood is crumbling? An industry that's backed by the government? Let me repeat that. What do you mean Hollywood is crumbling? An industry that's backed by the government is crumbling? The government? There has to be a higher power then. Something else is going on. Even if you don't want to say, I don't know what's, if you want to be like, I don't know what's going on, but something's going on. Because of the realms of darkness, the realms that basically own this realm, own the 3rd dimension. If they're saying, yo, we checking out, then that means God walked in. When you playing around too much, your father, hey! Your father said, hey! Ooh, Dad's back. Yeah. God is here. We're not in the 3rd dimension. God don't show up for duality games. Again, we're not in the 3rd dimension. God don't show up for duality games. God shows up to bring love and oneness. And you're either going to move or you're going to remember. Gemini saying, thank you, brother. Yes, it does change the perception. Yes. A Course in Miracles. Yes. Yes. A Course in Miracles. A Course in Miracles is said to be written by Yeshua. Not just Yeshua, but Christ consciousness itself. Because we have to, and this is all for the Mastery Course of the Eclipse. All of us, you anchor what the truth is. When you anchor the truth, When you upload, you download, and you integrate what the truth is, then it will just start happening more. Being in this live is so very, very powerful because I'm actually activating your DNA strands. Just being in the presence of what the light is, being in the presence of the Son of Source, your DNA strands is being activated. So I may say something that it may not register until 2-3 days from now. But when it hits, you're going to get memories flooding. And this is even scientifically proven. It's called junk DNA. And scientists figured out that in junk DNA, there's actually memories. But there's memories of a life that the current vessel has not lived. So then scientists are trying to figure, they know what it is because they all know spirituality. But they're trying to figure out a way. So they just ignored it. They said, it's so much. Scientists was like, it's so much, we're just going to call it junk. Because when we call something junk, people aren't going to care about it. You can't utilize physical things to prove how junk DNA is. So you just call it junk and you just put some weird label on it. But junk DNA is literally the memory of your lifetimes. Every life that you ever lived. But it's the memory of everything. So what we must anchor is being in this presence of the light. You're being activated. Each day for 7 days, show up. Let's get this number big. Continue to like the video. Continue to share the video. It's not for Nadiie. What you're doing is you're intentionally talking to Source. And it's actually not out there. I know I'm utilizing these terms like out there when we say God and Source because some people, they see God as out there. So we meet people where they are. We just want to force everybody to be like, God is within, God is within. Yes, that's the truth. But you have to meet people where they are. If they see God as an exterior being, then talk to them in that way. Don't be a butthead, okay? Don't be a butthead. Being in the light and being a light worker is knowing who you're talking to and speaking their language, all right, as best as you possibly can. But let's get to these questions and these statements. We got that. You know, we got True Blue, Christian cosplay. You added a question mark, True Blue. You said, what is this Christian cosplay? So I'm just going to say your action to question. I'm neither Christian nor of any religion. I'm Native American, Sikh Sika. When you study our culture, you'll see that storytellers look just like me. You know, we forgive you for not knowing about the native tribes, but it's very, very beautiful that you even showed up in the live. All we care about is your action, True Blue. So continue to ask your questions because we love you. The fact that you're here, who cares about what the vessel says, True Blue? The fact that you're here, you can say whatever you want, but you're in the light. So, bravo. And that's that's a perfect example of, listen, judge not each other. Because the people that we may not agree with, or we may agree with, it doesn't matter if they're all in the light. We're all equal, regardless. It's not cosplay if it's who you are. Not you be astral projecting, you enter in the spirit realm illegally. Featuring, okay, so listen. Let's talk about astral projection. And this is still off for the mastery course for the eclipse preparation. You have to know all this information because the spirit realms is here. It's merged with what you think physical reality is. So there's no such thing as physical reality. So you have to know these spiritual terms. So everything that's coming through, from an ego perspective, it may not be structured, but oh yes it is. Because what Source is preparing us for, oh goodness. You're gonna when it comes through the vessel, you're gonna be like, oh my gosh, that's profound. And I'm gonna be like, no, you're profound. For to recognize the beauty in something is to recognize the beauty in self. So astral projecting, let's talk about how astral projecting even came about. He said, not you, this is featuring Brielle, not you be astral projecting, you enter the spirit realms illegally. No, that's you legally. If you want to, and this is meeting people where they are. Let's utilize your terms, legally and illegally. Entering the spirit realms illegally is thinking you're in a physical body. Thinking that you're separate from God, thinking that you can be hurt, thinking that you have the ability to hurt your brother and sister, thinking that you can be in a dark industry. That's illegally. Because you either believe Source is everything or you believe Source is nothing. Now, if you see Source, because there's no in between. There's no Source is that, but Source is not this. Source is all there is or Source is nothing. Source, A.K.A. God. So if you see Source as everything, you understand that Source is that which is love. How? When you pray to Source, do you feel immense fear and terror? No. What do you feel? Bliss, happiness, relief, sometimes grief, just getting it out. That's because you're entering the presence of light. So you're going to feel it. What you see is what you are. Source is abundant in love. So when you say, move out the way, God, and you go to a realm where there is nothing but hate, you're going to a place illegally. You're going to a illusion. Illegal illusion. You're going to that place. You're saying all there is, God, I know you're all there is, but I'm going to make a fake dimension full of pain and hurts because I just can't stand to be next to you. The fact that we went to a physical reality, that's illegal spiritually. That's a fallacy. That's illegal spiritually. No child of God should be able to experience anything other than abundance. And the fact that we've been tricking ourselves to believe that we don't have to experience any bliss and we have to stay in this world, that's insanity. So when one astral projects, they go back to their natural essence. So the dimension right before physicality. Remember, physicality isn't anymore, but you still have some people that believe in it. It goes physicality, right? The realms of density, and then it goes ethers. You have some beings that go into the ethers, not just the astral realm. It goes realms of density, ethers, astral realms, spirit realms, heaven realms, light realms, and so on and so forth. But you have some beings that stop at the ethers. Lemuria, Lemuria was the divine feminine on the planet. Atlantis was the divine masculine on the planet. It actually was cultures, though. Lemuria, those teachings, they were etheric. They didn't fully integrate into density. They wasn't very whole and solid. So they can project their consciousness into anything, rocks and everything. But when they realized, this is how Lemuria fell, or one of the reasons Lemuria fell. There was so much in the light when they was projecting their consciousness and everything, because they're in a new world, a new planet. They just want to experience everything. Some projected their consciousness into trees. Some projected their consciousness into rocks, but they couldn't come back. They went to a vessel that didn't know how to do it. That's how a lot of the Lemuria beings got stuck. So astral projecting, Brielle, is you telling God, listen, I want to go back to my natural state. It serves not to be in a world that is void of you, God. Someone needs to explain to you what astral projection is. You need not explanation. Like Albert Einstein said, this is from Casey Jones. Like Albert Einstein said, Casey Jones, you can't solve a problem with the same mind that created it. So a person in physicality, or thinks that they're in physicality, that thinks they're separate from God, they can't possibly tell me anything about heaven because you're not in there. I mean, it's pretty simple. It's pretty straightforward, right? If a person as a cook, let's say I was a cook, if I wanted to tell you about stocks, would you believe me, or would you believe the person actually in the stock market? Let's keep it a bean here, y'all. Would you believe me, the cook, chefing up the eggs, or will you believe the person in the stock market as it pertains to the stock market? I will never listen to a person that hasn't astral projected about astral projection. I will never listen to a person that only believes in religion as it pertains to anything beyond it. I will meet you where you are when it comes to your topics. If you want to pray with me, I will utilize your terms. I will say, oh Lord. I will utilize your terms because God cares not about the journey, just the destination. I will utilize all your terms. But when you step into my realm, when you say, thank you, Nadiie, for coming to I will go to your church and I will pray with the pastor. I have no problem with anybody. But that's me going in your world. But when you step in my world, we know what we're talking about. Because it's not just the vessel that's talking. I'm the son of Source, as are you, for we are one. Source is quite literally, the beings that have their eyes open, they know what this is. They're listening to everything. Because it's them saying it. We're one. So when one says, like Casey, someone needs to explain to you what astral projection is, you're alluding to the fact that you know. Well, if we're one and you know, then I know. Even though I already know, we're one, so I know because you know. And I anchor that which is oneness. So it's pretty simple. Life is simple. I don't know why people want to make it so complicated. We're going to get to all these questions, y'all. All of this is a part of phase 2. That's not a good thing to do. I pray you find truth. That was coming from Brielle. Moving on, Brielle, we are very, very beautiful. All of us. And, You don't need to pray to find truth. You don't need to pray. You need to become your prayers. Remember we made the video? Become your prayer. Everything was in accordance with this day. Instead of praying, saying, God, help me, help me, help me. One of the most powerful prayers you can ever bring forth to source. We actually say the word divine statements, or the term divine statements instead of prayers. One of the most powerful divine statements you could ever say to source is, source, guide me to seeing as you see. Because God doesn't perceive you as a being that is helpless. God does not see you as a being that is lack. So the reason why some people's prayers don't get answered is because they're coming at it from an angle of, I need help. But when God is seeing you, it's like when you say God is focused on you. Yes, my child. And you say, help me. It's like static. It's like, shh. I only heard him say God, so I guess I'm going to just show up in their life. I don't know what they need. And what are you talking about? We can't, no comprende. There ain't no such thing as you don't have in the realms of bliss. So what we're going to do is just remind you of who you are. So you are the truth, Brielle. You are the truth in your own right, just like I am the truth. It's simple. We're one. You are a master, Brielle, in avenues and pathways in your life that I may not be. And that's perfectly fine, because you came to earth to assist a specific amount of people, and I came to earth to assist the world. So when you want to assist the world, you have to learn from everybody, and you have to meet everybody where they are. Look up Gadriel brother Lord Lod. I'll keep that in mind. Yes, Brielle, he is speaking facts. Not y'all defending me. All right, y'all. I'm looking at all these comments. What does the Bible mean? Everybody ask y'all questions. Put your questions in the comment. Because remember, we're reeling and woven everything into step 2 or day 2. Remember, we're going live for 7 days. We're showing everybody that it's okay to stand firm and be the light regardless of any opposition. Be the light, stand firm. Source said show up. Showing up, if you don't want to be a teacher or you don't want to show the light in an overt way, showing up is liking the video at the very least and sharing the video at the very least. And not just sharing it with the share button, sharing it to your friends. Look. God's son is talking. Look. The light is here. Look. Just listen. That's you showing up. Because there's a divine law. What you see is what you are. So when you see God's son, when you see what the light is, you see it for yourself. Me and you are the same. Like I said, I am not special. In the realms of heaven, we're all equal. And equality in this realm, the people that want to perceive through the eyes of density, is average. So I would be considered an average being in heaven. But the fact that an average being in heaven is so much energy, so much light, that's an issue. Because you got to see that for yourself. We're all equal. There's no difference. There's no higher. There's no lower. There's no hierarchy in God. In God, there's no hierarchy. There's just loving. So, he said, Reuben Rivers said, you look like Jesus. Yo, that's my brother. If y'all didn't know. All right. Young man, I think you should study some more. We Need Not Books. That was from Energize. Well, Energize, We Need Not Books. Right now, it's about showing up. And when you show up for Source shows up for you. Life is very simple. A lot of the most revered prophets, and I'm not saying this because of me, but we're saying a lot of the most revered prophets, a lot of the most revered leaders and revered people on the planet, they were illiterate. They didn't care about your world. All they cared about was God. Jesus wrote not one book. Not one book. All he cared about was God. I care not about how you speak. I care not about how you dress. I care not about how you think. All I care about is delivering the light, the word, as some people say. So at some point, when will you stop studying? At some point, Energized, when will you stop using your mind, your brain, the same brain that got you separate from God? When are you going to stop using books and just utilize what God gave you? When are you going to stop with the malarkey in this world? When are you going to stop arguing with each other? When are you going to stop judging one another? When are you going to stop acting like you're not unified and acting like y'all not that guy? Y'all not that girl. When are you going to stop that? And realize, oh, I'm the truth. I am the truth. When are you going to say that? I need not a book. I need not anything. See, what we must anchor is who we are. That's why we said day one, we're going live for 7 days. Day one was ask yourself the 2 questions. What do I like to do? You know what you like to do by your routines. What do you do in your day-to-day? Day 2 is what serves for me. You understand what serves for you by anchoring what you know feels good as it pertains to the choices that you make. You figure out who you are. And when you figure out who you are, I don't need another book. I don't need another spiritual video. I don't need another anything. Source has given me everything that is required. So if you want to see complexities and me talk about Sirius and me talk about Pleiades, I know about all of these things. I actually delivered a baby for the Pleiades. One of the first times it's ever been done. Utilizing this little, it looked like a little water gun. It was a lot going on. But we've been through a lot of different star systems. We've been to a lot of different planes. We've had beings, and what we think physicality was at the time, beings come from the ethers to us. We've seen them with our own 2 eyes. I'm Native American, Omakitchipanikim, the hawk. That means, Omakitchipanikim means hawk in the native tongue. We have hawks every single day circling around us, swooping down, animals talking to us. We know a lot. But at some point, when are we going to anchor that life is pretty simple? God doesn't care about your complexities. God doesn't care about how well you can, pie or whatever. Are you going to bring the light? Can you make the light as simple as possible? That's what Yeshua did, and that's one of the most revered leaders. Yeshua learned from the Essenes. There's a group of teachers, Essenes, in a land called Qumran. He went to Tibet. He went to the UK. He went to the native lands. He went all across the world and said, I got all this information. I know about Reiki. I know about all of these things. I can teach y'all the most complex information like Thoth, like all of these beings in Egypt. But what I'm going to do is just say you need only love. I'm going to make things simple. Yes, I know it all. But it serves not to talk y'all ear off about everything else when God is only love. So it's a process of elimination. It's like, okay, this is how Yeshua was like, all right. This is how Yeshua was having his teachings. Like Yeshua had a stack of like hella information like this big. And Yeshua was like, well, God is pretty simple. So I don't think to teach God you need a book this big. And I don't think to teach God you need a book, period. Because you're enough. So let me say, okay, well, what is God? Well, God makes me feel love, so maybe God is love. All right, well, let me just teach love and see how this goes. And then he started teaching love, and the miracle started happening. He's like, oh, snaps, I found God. God is love. Simple. Simple. We don't need to talk about, the complexities of the machinations of the universe. We don't need to talk about all of that. Be not a butthead and, be in the light. So, everybody, this is day 2. We can finally. He said, Gangster Goddess said, I love those who society rejects. He said, Infinite said, and the Dead Sea Scrolls in the Book of Enoch are way more than 12 books. Exactly. All right, so everybody, let me introduce myself. And let's get the ball rolling with day 2. Because all of that is actually integrating that which is truth about day 1. So peace unto you, everybody. My name is Nadiie. All right? I'm the son of Source, as are you, for we are one. The son is S-U-N, not S-O-N, for gender does not exist in the realms of spirit. Everybody just is. All right? It may exist in this realm. It pretty, does. But, in the realms of spirit, we don't deal with all of that. So, what serves today is collaboration. All right? Yes. Everybody, you must know who you are. You ask yourself your 2 questions. Now you know yourself. Know when you came to this earth, from the most minute levels. Everybody that's in here, put your birthdays and comment your birthdays. Put your birthdays in the chat. Comment your birthdays. My birthday is 010101. You ask yourself those two questions. What do I like to do? What serves for me? Everybody put your birthdays in the chat. Show everybody from a numerological point of view. I don't even know we butchered that word. Who cares? From a numerology point of view. There it is, source. From a numerology point of view, you are God's child. Everybody put your birthdays. From a presence point of view, you are God's child. Everybody that loves the numerology, that wants to do all the studying, look at all of these people in these comments. Do the maths. You want to do the maths? Do the maths on their birthdays. They came here all with a purpose. All of us are light workers. We found our tribe. We found our tribe. We finally found it. We found our soul family. We're here. You're part of the ministries. You're part of the way. You're part of the light. You're a part of the great central sun. You're a part of God. You're a part of source. You're a part of Allah. You're a part of everything. Everybody drop your birthdays. Let these people that want to talk about the maths and numerology, let them deal with that. Yeah, my birthday is this. Holla at your boy. Do your numerology. You love it so much. Yeah, my birthday is 010101. Y'all should know about how that happened in the stars. Yeah. Christian, 1029, God's child. Amber, 77, God's child. Another Christian, Laura, 102985, God's child. Hold on. Don't tread on me. 012388, God's child. Okay, you got a long name, my man. It looked like S3MAJGNIK. I'm about to say C because I was so much in the rhyming. His birthday, 020988. Everybody with me. 1, 2, 3. God's child. Come on, man. We're all the child of source. Right now, we're meeting everybody where they are. Reminding people that you are enough. We got Black Poetic Fire, 72094. 1, 2, 3. God's child. We got La B Slime. We got 091608. Everybody in unison. I want y'all to hear. I want y'all to say it loud and proud. 1, 2, 3. God's child. Hold on. Divine Sunday. 081687. Scream it to the world that we are anchoring this light. 1, 2, 3. God's child. God's child is here. God's child is here, and it's you. You are the son of source. S-U-N. You are the daughter of heaven. You are the peace. You are the light. That's who you are. You need not me to tell you that. I'm just ready to roll for you. I'm not willing for you. I'm willing to live for you. And I'm going to live for eternity for you. This is what this is. So the fact that you're here, the fact that you manifested a Christ being to tell you what it is, lets us know that you're a Christ being, because only a Christ can manifest a Christ. So I actually bow to y'all. Thank you. Gangster God is February 11th. 1, 2, 3. God's child. Stop playing with us. Stop playing with us. Stop playing with us. This is for the dark, the beings that want to think they're dark, to all the beings that think they're dark and don't think that they're God's children. To all the beings that feel like they don't know. To all the beings that feel like they can't go. To all the beings that feel like they don't know what this is. They don't know what the light is. No, we're not having that. Because every single person in this live is the son of source, the daughter of heaven. Every single person in this live is the son of source, the daughter of heaven. Every single person. This is what day 2 is about. Collaboration. Day 1 was anchoring who we are. Figuring us out. Because you can never help another if you don't figure yourself out. Day 1 was asking ourselves the question, figuring out what we want to do. Day 2 is now coming as a collective saying, I may not know everything. I may not know everything. But what I'm for sure going to do is show up for God's children. This is not a religion. You need not religion to be a great person. Again, you need not religion to be a great person. The most revered people, we're not in religions, Religions were just constructed around those people because they were so great. Religion is like, oh my gosh, this person displayed light at a high level. We have to structure it. And it served its purpose. But you have people that don't even follow their own religion. So now, I tell people, don't believe, don't have faith. No. You don't have belief in, I say, I don't believe in God. I don't have faith in God. I know in God. I know in source. You operate out of knowingness. When masters were turning lead into gold, they didn't say, oh, I believe this is going to happen. When masters were turning lead into gold, they didn't say, oh, I have faith this is going to happen. They said, I know this is going to happen because I'm the Son of God. Here, yo. Here, a cup of water. Make it wine. Bet. Easy. Light work. In the midst of conversation. Yo, we need some wine. All right, bet. There's not even a thought process behind it. And just because we know who certain masters is doesn't mean we subscribe to certain religions. See, Yeshua came to me when I asked for redemption for one of the first times, and I was learning from Yeshua for a very long time, and I still am. I am Christ consciousness embodied, as are you, for we are one. Christ consciousness is no longer in one vessel, it's the entire planet. The reason why so many beings are hyper fixated on this planet, on New Earth, is because we have constructed a planet where every single being is a Christ being. Every single being, if you don't align with the term Christ, just say God's will. Every single being is God's will. You know how many eyes is on this planet? Because what you mean is a whole planet full of Jesuses. What you talking about? A whole planet. And you saying 80% of them don't even know that they're that powerful? Oh, let me try to control it. If y'all got word of billionaires that are just handing out money, not doing no type of, resource gathering, not doing none of that. They just handing out money. You telling me you're not gonna go over there to figure out what's going on? How they got so much money? You handing out money? You don't care about it? That's how people perceive this planet. They just handing out that much energy and they still have that much left? The only other person that did that was the Christ. Hold on, this whole planet is God's will? Oh, let me try to control it. That's why they want to control it. Because you don't have a break. There's no breaking point to you. You're the son of source, the daughter of heaven. There's no breaking point to you. Until we say enough is enough. Collectively, everybody. On three, everybody say God's child. Out loud. Let your presence, say it in your mind's eye. Allow everybody to feel. Visualize this wave of sound alchemy covering the planet. This is what day 2 is about. This is all for the preparation of the eclipse because you have people that want to bring us back to a dark age. But no, the light workers are here standing up and saying in unison, we're going to say God's child. We're going to cover this light. Cover this light with our light and use this combined force over Earth. 1, 2, 3. God's child. Everybody out loud on a count of 3. Say God's child. Visualize the light covering the planet. We're not going to revert. We are in new Earth right now. 1, 2, 3. God's child. One more again. You know we love 333s. On the count of 3. You show up for source by vocalizing, by sharing, by liking, by being present, by breath, and by saying God's child. This is us meeting you where you are. Listen, if you don't want to go out here and, teach the people, you don't have to. Your presence is enough. But the very least you can do is you can state God's child to the cosmos, to the ethers, to let everybody know. All the beings, look, all that sage that we've been lighting, we need that. All we need to do is stand firm in who we are. And when we know who we are, the beings that feel us and are around us that want to, manipulate us, when they see we know who we are, they're going to back up because it's going to be like, oh, snap, they remember their own power. I'm not trying to get, kapooied up out of here. I'm going to leave you alone. So on the count of 3, the last time everybody say God's child and say it to all the beings that was playing with you. Say it to all the beings that ever doubted you. Say it to all the beings that chose not to forgive you. We're going to utilize this frequency to forgive them, forgive ourselves, and keep pushing. 1, 2, 3, God's child. That's what we love, because that's who you are. You stating this is you stating who you are. Now moving forward, you made your bed, now lay in it. Lay as the child of God. Lay as the daughter of Source, the daughter of heaven. Lay in that. You don't need anything of this world. You need not these jobs. You need not all of these friends. You need not these fickle relationships. You need not any of these things. All you need is to know who you are, because when you know who you are, you know who God is. You see the collaboration. Everybody, scroll in the comments. Look at the collaboration. Look, it's time, y'all. Yes, it's time. It's now. God's child, we love it. Everybody say it. We love it. This is what it is. We love to see it. We love to see it. This is a collaboration. Right now, we have a beautiful, beautiful energy ready. Even if you didn't show up for day 1, we're going to download both of these videos and try our absolute best to post them. Even if we post them tomorrow, we're going to make sure we post both of them. But day 1 was all about integrating who we are, figuring out who we are. Now, today is about coming together, standing firm. Why do people think there cannot be another Malcolm X? Why do people think there cannot be another Jesus? I made a bar. I said, believe it, believe it. It's all right, read it. I said, believe it, it's all right, read it. I could change a life without deceiving. Why you think that God's gifts stopped at Jesus? Come on, man. God is infinite. You're not going to tell me God is so infinite, but said, nah, only one person. No, nah. I'm so infinite, I'm so limitless, but I'm going to just stop. That literally means limited. Stopping is literally limited. Like, let's bring the connections. No, Source gave the entire planet that energy. Source gave everything in existence that energy, and we have the choice to use it or not. Source is like, I gave you my will. You're just choosing to use it or not use it. That's just what it is. And the beings that are quote unquote masters, they just decided they don't need the world. They just gonna align themselves with that which is Source. God's child, we love to see it. Peace, peace, peace. Okay. If you have any questions, because today is about collaboration, all right? We talked about today, off topic, but your jars are really nice. Thank you. We're very grateful. Oh, you make me feel so good. Today is about collaboration, all right? If you have any questions, I don't care if it was if it's an off-topic question. I don't care. If you have any question, try to make it as topic as possible. Try to keep it on point. Have a little bit of structure, but we'll work with you. If you had any question you ever wanted to talk to someone about the light, about love, just say it. This is a safe space. This is a sacred space. Ask your question. We're going to bring forth the light and bring forth the awareness of what an answer is for the question. Because today is about collaboration. Today is not just about me standing on the podium screaming out to the world, the Son of Source is here. That was for yesterday. That's why there's so many people here. There's more people here today than yesterday, because me, Michael Murdad, and a whole lot of other beings, we set the stage up. We put out the energy in the ethers. We said, Source, we showed up. Now, I know miracles exist. So may tomorrow be a beautiful day. Tomorrow, I'm going to be humble. Tomorrow, I'm going to sit back and allow the people to reveal to themselves that they are the light. To tomorrow, day 2, which is today, I'm going to be a mirror. Tomorrow, the Son of Source is here. Everybody gather up. We send it out in the ethers. We're going to stop the war with our presence. Now, today, I'm going to be a mirror and show you who you are. So, we're going to go up. Ask the questions. Any questions you have about the light, any question you have about any spiritual gift, even though, look, we meet people where we are, even though we said, you don't need to make all, life all extra complicated and utilize all of these spiritual gifts and spirituality. Even though we said that, if you have a question about those things, if you have a question about numerology, just ask it. You're the will of Source. Source hears everything that you say, as long as it's in the light. Source knows that you're speaking. If you bring forth some things that doesn't align with heaven, Source will recognize that, oh, my child is trying to tell me something. Until they say the right words, then there can be an actual conversing. But right now, it's not about the craziness in the world. Right now, it's not about anything. Let's just focus on who you are. Focus on this mirror. Take a deep breath. Ask your question. That's heavy on your heart. Ask it. God is in the room. And it's you. What you see is what you are. Moving forward, it's an absolute requirement for everybody that went to day one, that was in day one, they all passed. Everybody that's here, the moment we're so powerful. The moment you join the live, even if you leave right after, the moment you join the live, you passed. You passed the test. Because God cares not about the journey, only the destination. It can be, I'm hopping in. All right, now I got that bath, that refresher. Let me go back in the world and bring what I just learned. Because even our presence is enough. Even if someone joined while I'm just looking at the camera and then they leave, our presence was enough. They may not receive the download at that moment, but they will. I guarantee you. Peace. All right. Let's talk about these questions. We got David Lane Music talking about, I made that bed I lay. Yes. We lay in our bed. You coming to this live, you holding space for each other. You stop focused on the craziness in the world. You actually become the light. It's a becoming process. This love is who you are. It's a becoming process. It's not a worshiping process. It's not a respect process. It's not a revering process. It's a becoming. It's integration. You integrate everything that you've learned. You love your religion so much. Y'all love y'all. And when we say y'all, if the shoe don't fit, don't wear it. We know who we are. We're talking about everybody else. Because remember, there's some beings that scrolling and they see the video. They stop a little bit. They haven't clicked on it yet. But I know there's way more people watching. If you love your religion so much, become the teachings that are the most beautiful. So much so that you need not a book. You never want to put yourself in a position to where you say, let me kind of refer back to this page and this verse and this chapter. From any religion. What serves is you align yourself with what the truth is. You align yourself with what the truth is. You become it. You become the book. Become it. Become the light. Become the truth. Become all there is. Become the love. And when you become, you remember who you are. Because there's nothing wrong with these religious texts. There's nothing wrong with anything that the world has given us as pertains to God, because at least they're trying. But there's very beautiful things in every text. The Dead Sea Scrolls and every religion. There's very beautiful things, the hieroglyphs even. There's very beautiful things. But what we must do is we must extract the things that we know serve for us and integrate them, become them. Don't just get inspired and say, oh, nice talk, or nice words, or that's a nice sentence right there. Oh, that's deep. That's a deep parable. Integrate it. Have it guide your life to where when people, you never want to get in a place. Like, it serves not to walk in the area and everybody just know what religion you come from, what anything you come from, because it's so linear. You want people to walk in the room and be like, who is that? That energy is powerful. That's when you know you're walking with God. That's when you know. Okay, we have 10 so. Everybody ask your questions. This is day 2 about if you are serious about the light. If you're serious about light working, if you're serious about what the truth is, we're all going to come together and we're going to collaborate. Now, remember, I'm your mirror. I'm your mirror. When you see questions in the comments, if you have an answer, you can do 2 things. You can present the answer in the comments. Show up for your people. Right now is the time for all of us to shine. You show up for the people, and you can also become the answer, and we'll all feel it. And whatever you think you should say, it actually will be delivered through this vessel. So one question, we got 10 so. Can I ask how the mother of your world gets no love? Can I ask how the mother of the world, you say your world, gets no love? When we speak of mother, and we're going to move with what source guides us to say with this question, even if you wanted a specific answer, there's a divine mother, okay? The divine mother is ever so present. The divine mother is essentially, it's a nurturer. For us to come from heaven to get to this world, we went through the womb of the divine mother. Now, all of this is symbolic. There actually is no, gender in heaven, but we utilize terms that people will understand. That's bridging. Because to truly explain what happened to get from heaven to here, English words won't utilize it. You have to understand how to speak light language. So what we do is we disguise English as light language. So what happens is when you use a specific technique, a very powerful technique where you utilize any language that you have, you can implement light language within it, and then you can deliver that light language to people. Now, when you deliver that light language to people, it's going to rest within them and it's going to activate DNA strands. Sometimes for people, it may happen instantaneously. The people that it happens instantaneously for, they experience, oh, snaps. Oh, what the truth is. But the mother, the divine mother, it gets all the love. We're all one. So if I love myself, I love everything. I love the divine mother. I love source. I love anything. I love everything. When you operate within oneness, when you love who you are, when you operate as the son of source, as the daughter of heaven, as the daughter of source, the child of God, when you operate as that and you love who you are, you love everything. I mean, it's pretty simple. You don't got to make everything all extra complicated, God's child. Someone said Jesus is God. Yes, Jesus is God. You are God too, though. Buddha is God as well. Krishna is God as well. God is limitless. God is everybody. How can you be made in the image of something and not be it? Take a picture of yourself and tell me that's not you. You can't, because it's your image. I mean, it's pretty simple, right? You see how quick that is? You see the quick, that actually kind of makes sense. How can you be in the image of something and not be it? Take a picture of yourself and prove to me that what you just took, that picture is not you. Prove that to me. Can't happen. It's not going to happen. If you're the image of God, you're God. You can't not be the image of something and not be it. That's not how it works. It either is or it ain't. Now, if you took a picture and you wasn't in the photo, all right, buddy. You might be on to something. You're probably not God. But I'm pretty sure when everybody takes a picture of themselves, they see themselves. So if you're made in the image of something, you are that. You cannot be made in the image. Look up the definition of image. Look up the definition of likeliness. You'll read those definitions and be like, even from the definitions, how can I not be that? Can I ask why the creator can't be a woman? Ooh. Today, all of this, everybody, is for the mastery course for Eclipse preparation. The reasoning is because we have to anchor. Day one was all about anchoring who we are. You ask yourself the two questions. Y'all know the two questions by now. What do I like to do? What serves for me? What you like to do is the things you do in your day-to-day. What serves for me is the choices that you align with, the choices that you actually enjoy. You align yourself with what the miracle is. The miracle is a undoer. The miracle undoes things. It brings you back to zero and says, what? Choose again. This world is so restricted. It's so tight. Everybody just wants to hold on to everything. I want my money forever. I want all of this forever. The miracle releases the grip. That's what the miracle does, releases the grip. Now, when your grip is released, you can see as God sees. You can put on God's goggles, God's glasses, and now everything in your life is an opportunity. If what you're experiencing in your life is not feeding who you are, your purpose, leave it alone. I don't care what it is. If you got to get off an app, get off the app. If you got to stop talking to a friend, stop talking to the friend. If you know the relationship is not going to be supporting the light in you, leave it. Simple. Leave it. Kind of like when in the stories, people love Yeshua in his stories. When Yeshua was about to start his journeys and asked people to come with him, he was like, you can come if you want to. If you don't, that's fine. But you have to leave all of this. Yes, this is that. Leave all of the craziness in the world and become it. This is our version. This is today's version of that. And today, and this is how we show up. This is why we're going as hard as we're going. In that time, they had no technology. So it was, I'm coming face to face and I'm telling you, listen, you're either going to show up for the light and walk with me or you're not. And either way, we're going to show up for you because God loves you that much. But I'm going to experience this because I'm done with earth. I'm not coming back. All right? Everybody, if you're tired of earth and you want to go back home and you just want to transcend, you want to get this over with, you don't want no more lifetime, you're done with it. If you're tired of it, put 33s in the chat. Let everybody know this is my last lifetime on earth. Okay? I am transcending. All right? But when you transcend, when you anchor this energy, you have to actually live it. You have to be a nice person. You have to stop arguing with people. You have to stop entertaining and enabling people. Entertaining and enabling just because you say, oh, I'm not with that or I'm not going to rock with that. That's not enough. You have to not enable it. You have to not put it in, allow it to seep within your consciousness. You have to stop watching the ratchet videos on TikTok. You have to change your algorithm. Instead of just scrolling mindlessly, search things. You got to start going out your way to find the light. And then it doesn't have to be, even though we recommend it to be an everyday type of thing, we understand sometimes, you want to take some breaks. All right, that's fine. Everybody needs a good laugh. Everybody needs some balance. But to have it just be so just mass like, oh, ratchetness, the music. Is the music. Listen to the all we have to say is the music. Listen to the music. Look how the consciousness shifted. And the music industry, just touching on it, the music industry shifted because of like 12, 13 people. They had one meeting. I mean, Bone Thugs and Harmony talked about this. But I knew it in the spirit realms. Because Source sends me, because I'm going to be in the music industry, so Source was like, listen, my child, I want to be preparing you for these type of things. You have to be ready. So you got to know how they're moving and what they're talking about. The music industry shifted. The consciousness, from the 90s to 2010s, the consciousness completely shifted. Because 12 people, but those 12 people owned labels and they were the bosses of bosses. And they said, if your people don't talk like this, kick them off the label and find someone that talks about this because we need these jails to be packed, these private jails. We need all of this to be. So they changed the consciousness of the entire music industry to feed it. So if 12 people can change the consciousness of an entire generation's music, what can 100 people talking about the light do? A lot. A whole lot. A whole lot. What can 200 people, 300 people, 400 people talk about the light? It doesn't, you sharing this, you liking this, is you saying, I'm not with the malarkey. You sharing this, you showing up, you staying, you're not just hearing the information, you integrating this information is you telling God, I'm not with Hollywood. I'm not with the dark energy. I'm not with the government energy. I'm not with any of these things. You showing up, liking the video, sharing, conversing with the people in the comments, collaborating with one another. This is all for the eclipse preparation. Why is this for the eclipse preparation? Because the eclipse, when it happens, we all need to be together and we all need to have that unified system, that mind, that oneness. We all need to have that oneness. We have to meet each other where we are. So today, day 2 is collaboration. We're going to be asking questions. Everybody, if this is your last lifetime on earth, and you be like, I don't know if this is my last life, you can affirm it. You don't have to come back. Contrary to popular belief, who cares about what these other spiritual people talked about? You don't have to come back. You don't have to reincarnate. You do not have to. You can choose to go back home. The reason why people come back is because they think they don't have a choice. And when you go into the realms of spirit, you are the person that decides. You are the decider. When you go into the realms of spirit, you are the decider. You decide whether you're going to go back. Look, because people be like, well, how could one even possibly go back when, especially if they experience a terrible life? I'm going to tell you how the afterlife works. Because when you astral project enough, you get used to the astral realms, spirits will come to you and they would like teach you these things. They would show you these things. They're aspects of yourself. So you could just bring in the consciousness of yourself from another dimension and say, reveal to me. So how the afterlife is, you transition. Now, we're basically going to be utilizing the scenario where a person that transitions into the afterlife, they are pretty aware of who they are. Because you have a lot of people that transition that don't know that they even transitioned. They're just mindlessly walking in the astral realms because they don't know they transitioned. A little trick, everybody. If you want to will in your consciousness and your awareness, look at your hands. That's why Yeshua, this world's favorite, most beloved master, utilized Reiki a whole lot because he understood the power in the hands. If you go to the spirit realms after you astral project, or even in the astral realms or afterlife, or even in your dream state, if you look at your hands, like if you want to learn how to lucid dream a lot, throughout the day, count your fingers. You'll realize you have 5 fingers. But when you go into the dream realm, you count your fingers, you'll have 6 fingers. You'll have another finger over here. It'll look very different. It is going to alert you. But essentially, what serves is for us to be like, listen, we are the beings that utilize what the truth is. We are the deciders. You decide whether you want to come incarnate or not. Because what happens in the spirit realms is when you astral project or when you just go into the afterlife, they talk about, the light flashing before your eyes. Yes, that happens. But when you finally go into the spirit realms in the afterlife, you go into like a buffering dimension. And then in this buffering dimension, there's so much light and so much love. You're essentially being bathed by God's hands. Because this life was traumatic. Don't come to me saying Earth is not traumatic. This life is traumatic. So the moment you come into the afterlife and you know who you are, God is bathing you. It's okay, my child. And God is saying you can stay here as long as you want. And then you're going to say, God, I just feel like there's something I have to do. The moment you have the thought, you disappear, because thoughts are that powerful. They happen instantaneously. God just says, and so it is. And then you get dropped off and you go into this, essentially it's like this room. And visualize like a lot of mini TV screens all on like a wall. And you're seeing your entire life. But not only your life, you're seeing how you affected other people. So that argument that you had with Rachel, that argument that you had with Angel, you get to see how it immediately affected Angel and Rachel's life. So people, when they ask, why would some want to just come back to Earth anyways? Because we don't realize and recognize how much we affect people. So when you see how you affected every single person you interacted, and if it wasn't good, we have hearts. We feel for them. Oh my God. Had I known she would have done that in her life, I would not have called her stupid, big face, big lip. I would not have called her that. I promise you, God. God is saying it's okay. She already forgave you. It's us. We're the people that be like, no, I got to make it right. I got to make it right. I got to make it right. So we are incarnate again. And then all the angels is like, all right. And so it is. Let's go. But you can choose not to come back. I've seen it countless times. Ryan Cropper seen it countless times. Many beings seen it countless times. Any being that astral projects, they know what I'm talking about. So, Tenso, remember, you have the gift. All of us, we have the gift. We have the ability. You today can affirm that it's your last lifetime. But when you affirm that, you when you make your bed, you best to be ready to lay in it. When you affirm that this is your last lifetime, ain't no arguing all the way with people. Ain't no acting like you don't know. Ain't no utilizing vocabulary that you know ain't for the light. Because God's going to be like, oh, you tired of their game? Oh, you want to come back home? Just like Dick Gregory said, God has one rule. And it's, you come back here just as clean as I left you. You come back here just as clean as you left. Don't come here with that hate and that foolishness. Don't come back home to heaven with that hate and that foolishness. You come back to heaven as blissful as when you left. So everybody, if you affirm that this is going to be your last lifetime and you're going to transcend, type 33 in the chat. Send spam 33 in the chat. Spam 33. If this is done, if you're done, if this is enough, and you're ready to transition, you're ready to be the light, spam 33 in the chat. But when you do, God is going to be like, all right. Now, let's send this person's triggers his way or her way. Let's send your triggers your way. Let's bring back that X. Let's bring back this. Let's bring a dark night of the soul. Let's bring a tower moment. Because if you really want to transcend, nothing can hurt you. Let's bring back what you think an enemy is. Let's make sure that you go through what you think is terrible. And Source is saying, when this happens, all we're doing is reconstructing your mind. When it happens and you recognize you're still here, because people be like, I don't want to experience that. You already have experienced that. Just look at your life. But the fact that you're still here after experiencing that tenfold already should let you know, oh, I'm powerful because I survived it. So Source is saying, when you type 33 in the chat and you send out to the cosmos, this is my last lifetime. I am transcending this lifetime. Send everything my way. I'll be able to deal with it. When you anchor that energy, be ready. Know that you don't have to attack nobody. Know that there is no such thing as defense, no such thing as attack, no such thing as enemy. Understand that you have the armor of God. I'm going to walk in the battlefield when the arrows is coming down and they're going to miss me. God's armor is so powerful it won't even be touched. You don't even need it. You just got it just for accessory, for fashion. The arrows are going to move out the way. If this is you, if me pointing to the camera was you, and you're at that position where the camera is, the arrows is coming, they're going to go the other way. The arrows are coming, they're not even going to touch you. And that's the power that you have. So when this is affirmed, when you affirm that I am done with earth, I am done with old earth, I am done with new earth, I'm not just want to stay in new earth because it feels better than old earth. I'm not going to just go to the 5th dimension. I'm not going to go to the 6th dimension. I'm not going to go to the 7th dimension. I'm going to leave dimensionality, period, and go all the way back home to God. I'm going all, because just because you're in the 7th dimension does not mean it's better or worse than the 3rd dimension. You're going to have 7th dimensional problems. Yeah, you can fly. Yeah, you can manifest instantaneously, but now you're going to have to deal with galactic politics. There's galactic wars. Oh yeah, y'all forgot about that. Every dimension has its own set of problems. It's more free than the previous dimension, yes. But the goal is to go all the way back home to Source. The goal isn't to just be in dimensionality, because as above, so below. You can count forever here. So you really can count forever in the realms of spirit. Somebody right now, they're in the 1,300,222 dimension. And they keep going up. I got to get to the next one. Man, creating realities and all of this. When is it going to be enough? When is it going, as above, so below? We love the statement so much. Well, it literally goes for everything. As above, so below. You can count forever here, so there's an infinite amount of dimensions. When is it going to be enough? When are you going to say, I'm tired of this malarkey, I want to go back home? This is not my home. I am in the world, not of it. This is not my home. Type 33 if you're tired and you want to transcend. And when you want to transcend, you already affirm it. When you type 33 in the chat, that means you already ascended. Because time isn't real. The moment you make a decision on something, it is. And that's what God is telling you. Let's get back to these questions. Can I ask, why can't the woman be a creator, or why can't the creator be a woman? Tenso asks, can I ask, why can't the creator be a woman? Because the creator isn't male or woman. But if we was to play gender roles, the creator, if anything, would be a woman, because the woman is the being that is the portal that creates. But it's neither. But if it was to be one, it would be the woman. But it's neither. So who cares? It's everything. Because we're only looking at it from this perspective. we're only looking at these things from our genders and these perspectives. There's other planets that identify as many different things. So in their terminologies and their language, God is, let's say, this is an example. Let's say in Planet 2, they call themselves X-Able and X-Duo. If in Planet 2, they call themselves X-Able and X-Duo, well, what we call Father God would be, oh, that'll be able. God has to be able. And then, oh, Mother God, it has to be Duo. It's the same thing. It's just different words. But when are we going to get over ourselves and stop projecting onto God? Saying God is a woman and saying God is a male is just projecting onto God. It's cool, because we got to meet each other where we are. It's hard for us to understand that, so we project what we already know onto it. But you don't have to. God can just be what it is. That's why we say it's all there is. So it's both. But if anything, if there had to be a choice for the sake of answering your question, Tenso, it would be a woman, because woman is what brings forth. It's a portal. The womb is a portal. It's creation, but it's neither. Off topic, but your dreads are really nice. Oh, I just read it again. I love you so much, man. Thank you. Oh, look at you. Nadiie said locks, not dreads, locks. I'm very grateful. Buddy, I meet people where they are. He or she may not understand the terminology. So, we don't have power over these words. You know what? We don't give these words any power. Yes, locks will be the technical correct term, but what is even right and what is wrong? You meet people where they are. If the intention of the person saying dread was something beautiful, then that's what it is. Bob Marley said dread all the time. And dreadlock Rasta. Because his intention was so pure. So even though now we're in this time, no. It's lock Rasta. We want to change the words to everything. If it's coming from a pure place, remember, Source cares not about the journey, only the destination. We don't care how you get here. Just get back home. Tenso, wait, the mass actually believe the world is made by man? Tenso, you would be, oh my gosh, you'd be so surprised. You'd be so surprised. Twin Peaks to market. I know I'm getting to these questions finally, right? Everybody's like, finally! He's getting to the questions. And remember, today, day 2, this is all for the mastery course for the eclipse. Day 1 was all about us standing firm on the highest mountain peak saying, the Son of Source is here. I'm ready to stop all of the malarkey. Now, day 2, today, is us being a mirror and showing you who you are. So when we tell you to collaborate with one another, it's not just send questions to Nadiie. If you know the answer, say the answer. It's a collaboration. I'm your mirror, literally. So if you don't like to chat, send the answer to me, and I'll say it, and you'll see a miracle. Everybody, there's already people that have seen miraculous energy from this live. They're like, oh my gosh, he really is the truth. But just even saying that, he really is the truth. We don't even want you to say that. We want you to say, I really am the truth, because I'm a mirror for you. So affirm yourself. Twin Peaks to market said, are you going to look at the eclipse? Sir? No. I'm not going to look at the eclipse. What I'm going to do is anchor this energy. For 7 days, I'm going to be anchoring this light, going on live teaching. I don't usually go on live. That's why people was like, oh my gosh, he's going on live, because I only go on live on my mystery school, which is private, on Patreon. But Source is like, show up. So I'm going on live for these 7 days. And on the 8th day, and this goes for everybody, don't go outside and look at that eclipse. You can if you want to, and nothing bad is going to happen. I'm not saying it to fearmonger. You can if you want to. But what I'm saying is it serves not in totality, because you've had 7 days worth of integration. The stuff that we're talking about, the beings in Kemet, or Egypt, the beings that were across the planet in lifetimes ago, that our ancestors, they fought, lived, and transcended for this information. So the fact that you're getting it so fast, day by day, it's a lot of information. Integrate all of this information day by day, and don't cram study. Don't wait till the 7th day and start to watch all the videos per hour. And you can if you want to, but on the 8th day, it should be about integration. You're going to be here with me for 7 days. This is day 2. So you're going to be here with me 7 days, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm going live every day for 7 days. And April 7th is the last day. On the 8th day, we anchor this energy and we integrate it. We hold space. Even if we can't meditate, for a long periods of time on the 8th, if you have to go to work on the 8th, you anchor this energy, its presence. I literally was bathed in the light. For 7 days, me and my spirit family all came together to hold space for not just Earth, but for all there is. So on the 8th day, if it serves for you, if you know, because you have people fear mongering, right? Don't go outside, don't go outside. If you know you can handle that energy, go outside. After you've integrated all of this energy, if you know you can handle it, you go outside and you just be. You don't gotta just tell. You don't gotta, teach people and scream, God, you don't gotta do all that. You meet people where they are. If people just want to have a good time with their family and watch the eclipse, you just have your presence guide them. Your presence is enough. There's stories about people trying to force Yeshua to do miracles. He looked at them and said, may my presence be enough. Because when you start relying on me and depending on me for anything, then you start forgetting who you are. So after you integrated these 7 days, if it actually serves for you to go outside and watch that eclipse, you don't go for the eclipse. You go for the people that's watching it. Because look, there is a lot of energy. We're not going to get too deep into the eclipse energy and like why we should or shouldn't watch it. Because there is no right or wrong. That's why it's not like, he's withholding information. It doesn't matter. It's all perspective. But what you can do is for the people that's still in La La Land, that don't know this eclipse is as big as it is and don't know this eclipse is as deep as it is, you go up and you just be a goalpost. You go up and you just plant yourself. Y'all not gonna touch these people. These people watching this eclipse, they don't know what's going on, but I do. I'm gonna hold the light for these people until they get done watching it. That's how you show up for the eclipse. You don't show up for the eclipse saying, ooh la la, I'm so happy. Even though I learned all this information, I'll be keeping it to myself. No, you allow your presence to speak and say, I'm gonna show up for all these people. I may not even look at the eclipse. I may be turned around with it, blocking everybody. Nah. Blocking all the energy that's not really for the people. Nah. Allow these people to just have a good time. These people that are watching the eclipse, they just want to have a good time. So I'm going to make sure, because I am the light, you are the light. If you know it serves for you to go out there, hold space for them people. And then if you find yourself in a conversation with someone, talk that light. Don't just refer people to me. Don't be like, I heard this master. Oh my God, the Son of Source is on earth again. And it's me. And it's you. And there's another being as well. His name is Nadiie. Don't try to bring me up in all of this and try to refer people back to me and doing all of this. No. You become this light. You stand on your own 2 feet and be like, listen, yes, Nadiie, thank you. Now I'm going to go out and bring people to this light. Now, if it really serves for you to guide people back here to me, perfect. But this is not a boasting thing. My goal is not to have hundreds and millions and followers. No. My goal is to guide people to remembering that they are the master. My goal is to not just have me right here in front of this eclipse, but having like millions of people around me, all masters. And when I'm saying like let's say we're talking, I move out the way, somebody else come in. And another point on that, and then somebody else come in. And another point on that, and I duck down, somebody else come over. And another point, I want everybody to be a master so we can all come on a live one day. Just a mass live. Do a mass prayer and everybody's a master. And when you feel like, and it's going to be like a Zoom meeting, like one of the Zoom meetings, you have a hell of people in the Zoom meeting. I'm going to make sure the host rules are turned off. So if you just want to jump in front of me, cut me off, if you want to start talking, just do it. Because all of us is masters. That's what the goal is. The goal is not for all y'all to be like, when you look at me. The goal is I give you this information and then you go out to the people and you spread it. Because I may not be in your location. I may not have the same friends you have. You have them. You know how your friends talk. You know how your friends operate. My words and the way I present myself may not align with people that's in the hood. It may align with the people from the hood. But if you're in that area and you know you could be of use to these people because you're able to retain this information, then go out there and share the information. Don't just refer them to me just because you love who I am, but what if they don't? Then you actually done them a disservice by trying to give me a service. Let me repeat that, because I know that flew over some people's head. You can actually do people a disservice by sending them to the things that you like if you know that's not actually going to serve for them, because what we like differ from one another. We may have certain things that are commonalities, but if you know how these people talk, if you know certain language these people use, then you're able to translate what I'm saying to them. You're able to translate what I'm saying to your friends, to your family. But if you know it serves to give, people guidance to come my way, then do it. I'm not fighting that. I'm not, against having, notoriety. But that shouldn't be your focus. Your focus should be, I'm a master in my own right. My birthright is being the will of Source and the abundance of Source. I'm not just going to look at Nadiie saying Nadiie is teaching me and Nadiie is guiding me to learning. I'm going to say Nadiie just guided me to remembering what I already know. So I'm going to use this information and go out and tell my friends, tell my family, the stuff that I already know. And yeah, Nadiie may give me certain things that are very beautiful that I wouldn't have thought about before. I'm just going to learn how to translate that to my friend group. That's how we spread this light. Everybody has to show up. And it doesn't have to be so overt. It can just be something simple. Like, we're all eating, everybody's like, oh yeah, we hungry. I'm like, yo, you want a smoothie? I don't want no smoothie, all that healthy stuff, man. They'd be like, no, all right, bro, let me meet you. This is how you do it. I'll meet you where you are. I'll go out and buy you a burger on me, but you got to get the smoothie with it. All right, bro, I do with the burger. You got to drink it, though. You got to drink the smoothie. All right, bro, I'll drink it. You meet your friends where they are. Slowly, you're guiding them. You're meeting them where they are. Yes, we're not judging the hamburger. We're not judging the meat. We're not judging you. We're just meeting you and baby stepping you. So no, Twin Peaks, I'm not going to look at the eclipse. I'm going to hold space for everybody. Okay. We got Defiant. It's funny that your name is Defiant. He's saying, turn to God. The flying spaghetti monster is the true... Oh my goodness. He said the flying spaghetti monster is the true God. Don't wait too late. You are actually hilarious. Ups with the God, our love. Yes. P.S. Palace. Saying what's up, everybody. We got Tenso again. Do you think the existence of all is made by woman or man? Neither. We don't move by gender. We move by all there is. It's made by God, and God is neither woman or male. But if we had to choose, just for the sake of answering the question, it would have been a woman, like we said earlier. But it's neither. The black sun is being enlightenment to all who need to see. Look at you knowing. How do I brighten my aura behind me like you? Oh, you said my aura is bright. Listen, child of God. All is equal in heaven. I would be considered average on this planet. But the fact that average is looked at as something so grand, that's a fallacy. Everybody in heaven shines just as bright as I do. You shine just as bright as I do. So if I try to even answer that question, and this is how powerful your words are and your intention. If I even try to answer that question, I have to first, David Lane music, I have to first affirm that you aren't bright to answer a question like, how do I brighten my aura? I would never affirm you aren't bright. So, and this is, David, you just did something so beautiful. You asked a very beautiful question. This is actually how prayers get sent to God. You ask a question like this, right? And thank you, Source. You ask a question like this. How do I brighten my aura behind me like you? See, Source will never answer that prayer. Why? Because it's not because Source doesn't want to answer it. Source listens to everything you have to say. But Source is saying, listen, you don't understand the deepness of your question. For me to answer, this question of how do I brighten my aura, I have to first affirm that your aura isn't bright. I won't do that. I refuse, David Lane Music, to believe your aura is bright. And this goes for everybody. Remember, we're all mirrors. David Lane Music is all of you. I refuse to believe your auras is not bright. I refuse to believe you are not just as powerful, if not more powerful than Jesus, Buddha, Krishna, Yogananda, Michael Murdad, Nadiie. I refuse to believe you aren't on the same level or even higher than us. I refuse to believe that you aren't who you are. The will of Source and the abundance of Source. So David Lane, you have to rephrase that question in a more oneness aspect. I promise you, it'll build on how to get certain prayers answered faster. We call prayers divine statements, but people like to utilize the term prayers. So, as masters about bridging. So if you know you don't like to utilize those terms, get over it yourself. Get over yourself and just meet the people where they are. But David Lane, you're gonna have, I said David Blaine. David Lane, you're gonna have to restructure that question because your aura is bright. We got Bando 6, the eclipse already start. Yes, Bando. That's what we've been telling people. The 8th is just the precipice of everything, but it's been happening. The energy been happening, so you're absolutely right. Okay, Zion. Oh, no, it went back to the bottom. Scroll back up. Oh, no. All right, y'all. I didn't even know the comments disappeared. I guess so many comments happened that it just disappeared. But, it all is in alignment. Sources is like, let's move on. So, I'm gonna answer Zion's question because I've seen it and I remember it. If I didn't answer your question, I now know that the comments, when they get too much, they just disappear and they come back. So just answer your question or ask your question again if I did not answer your question. But Zion asks, do I believe in God? No, I do not believe in God, nor do I have faith in God. Okay, I know in God. I don't believe in God, nor have faith in God. I know in God. Belief is so fickle. We know belief is fickle because I could change the way you believe. I changed the way a lot of y'all believe just with words. Oh, I didn't think about that in that way. The moment y'all say, I didn't think about that in that way, that's how you should know belief is not what your foundation should be. Belief is like the 3 little pigs. Let's tell a story. The 3 little pigs. You got the house of straw, you got the house of, the sticks, you have the house of bricks. Belief is the house of straw. You just blow it away. Anybody can change how you believe. Faith is so fickle because people change religions each and every day. That should just let you know. If religion was so secure and so tight, we would know that, okay, that religion was so no. We have to know. Knowing in Source is like living in a brick house. And this is a perfect example. If I say you don't be blinking, you gonna argue me up and down and say I be blinking. Look, I be blinking, Nadiie. Look, I be blinking. You're gonna argue me up and down. Why? Because you be blinking. You have to have that same level of discernment as it pertains to God, as it pertains to Source. You have to know. You can't let anything rattle you. You have to know. So no, I don't believe in God. I know in Source. We got Orion saying, see y'all all tomorrow. Yes, 7 days. We're going live to hold this energy. On the 8th day, everybody integrate all of this information and hold space. You don't have to go watch the eclipse. But if you know the eclipse serves for you to watch, hold space for them people. Because everybody just wants to have a good time. We don't always got to be so extra, spiritual, overtly spiritual to these people. Sometimes we just need a normal conversation with people. Sometimes they just need our presence. Our presence is enough. When you know who you are, your presence is enough. So if you show up for them people that's watching that eclipse. You understand that there is a solar eclipse every day all over. Hey, listen, West Blackburn. That's what we've been trying to tell y'all. West Blackburn. Something beautiful is happening, right? I don't know if you was here early, but we talked about you not needing to make things so overtly complicated. We make things as simple as possible that even a baby can understand it. That's when you know you're aligning yourself with God, because even a baby can understand it. Okay? So, yes, you're absolutely correct. There are solar eclipses that happen every day, but it's not for the reason that we think, because time doesn't exist. Everything is one moment. So the moment the first eclipse happened, it's always going to happen because everything is one moment. That's what we kind of touched on. We didn't want to just overtly push that out into the people in the teachings just yet, because we know that is a build-up process. We got to baby step people into this information. So look, this is the master in us. The master in us was like, let me just tell them that we got clearance to go into this realm's dimension, in the realms of spirit, and what we saw was everybody living in one moment. So that's what we said. We said we saw everybody living in one moment, even if, you know, they wasn't friends with certain people. We seen them friends with them. If, let's say you and your mother had a terrible argument, we seen you friends with your mother, and we understood that prophets are made when they recognize that isn't happening in our immediate reality. They bring it back and saying, listen, your connection with your mother is going to strengthen. Your friends with this person, is everything going to get better, I promise you. That's us saying what you just said, because everything is one moment. The moment it happens one time, it happens indefinitely. That's a new concept for everybody. Now everybody is like, whoa, well, what if something happens that we don't want? Just stop thinking about it. Just that fast, it'll poof out your life, I promise you. I've had exes in my life. You know, oh my gosh, the spiritual master, he had, you know, he had relationships. You got to build up to this. You know, you got to live life. We live life. And the moment I went on this path, I remember like it was yesterday. It was one being, okay? There's one lady. And I was looking at her. We was in the bed. I was not trying to do anything with her. I was just sitting on the bed. And she was like, Nadiie, why can't you just go back to being how you used to? The moment I heard that, I was like, oh yeah, bye. The moment you start thinking about it, the moment you start moving on this path, everybody would just get out. They would literally move out the way. It's just like Bashar was talking about. If you don't want something in your life, it's going to try its absolute best to get away from you. Why? Because I'm going to go further than what he did. You are Source's abundant child. So things abide by God. So when God says, I don't want you around me no more, it's going to move out its way as much as possible. But the only time things stay in your life that you don't like is because you're holding on to them. 33, I see it at 33s. For everybody that's tired of earth and they want to transcend, and this is what it is. It's the last day. You're done with all the craziness. Type 33 in the chat. But no, when you type 33 in the chat, all of the craziness, the dark night of the soul, everything is going to come. It's going to do its last hoorah. And basically what's going to happen is Source is going to say, are you as spiritual as you say you are? Source always gives you an out. Source is going to be, all right, you know, if you say stop, everything's going to stop. And God's going to be like, are you okay, my child? But you said you wanted to come home. But part of coming home is coming back just as pure as when you left. You've been, you know, indoctrinated in this planet that believes it's separate from that which is. So we have to bring up to heal a wound, you have to expose it. If the wound is covered all day, it's not going to get healed. You can put the wound, you know, put the ointment all over the covering. It's not going to happen. You got to heal that wound, expose it. So when you type 33 in the chat, you tell the cosmos, I affirm that this is my last lifetime here. I'm transcending and going back. What you're asking for is to have that wound be exposed. And you're saying, God, put the alcohol on it. I'm ready. I'm ready to go back home. And I'm going to come back home just as pure as when I left it. And so, yeah, TY. And so I see the 33s. 33s, we love to see it. 33. People, you know, it's not just about what the numerology says what 33 is. 33 is a mudra that we created. 33 means Hania. And you can align with this frequency. We're giving you some tea. We only usually say it in the mystery school, but this is the mystery school. We're in New Earth, so now it's going to be public. Everything's going to be public. 33, it means Hania. Hania is Hopi for spirit warrior. 33 means spirit warrior. The moment you say 33, you ready for whatever comes because you're moving directly with truth. When you see me on my album cover, you see me saying 33s, you see me at every video, I say, welcome home. Do y'all realize that we've been preparing y'all for this for the longest? At all the videos that I make. What do I end it with? Welcome home. Y'all realize what's happening. Y'all realize what's going on. We've been preparing you for the longest. So when you say 33, when you literally 33s, yeah, Nadiie got us. Nadiie got us. Call for me. I'm right next to you. Call for me. I'm right next to you. Nadiie got us. I got me. I don't even need Nadiie. But I'm still going to call Nadiie because he's part of my spirit family. You show up for your people. Call for me, I shall show up. But first, call for yourself. Call for your brothers. Call for your peers. Everybody in this life is spirit family. We're all part of the same lineage. We're going to show up for each other. Today is about collaboration. And this is all for the eclipse. Remember, today, day 2 is all about collaboration. 2, collaboration, unison. You see what's going on, balance. Everything is going to make sense numerologically. It's going to make sense astronomically. It's going to make sense spiritually. It's going to make sense physically, mentally. It's all going to make sense. So there's no coincidence that day 2 is about collaboration. You show up for your people. If people need you in the comments, if you say it, everybody, be honest with yourself. Today, we're not playing games. Y'all type 33. Y'all want to go back home. Be honest with yourself. Everybody, if there's an obstacle in your life and you're tired of that obstacle, get it out. Put it in the comment. When you put it in that comment and you send it, you're sending it out. You're literally pushing it out. If you have something that you feel like it's just getting in your way, be honest. We're not going to go and create a smear campaign and find your page. This is your spirit family in this live. If you have I need money. I'm tired of them. I need a new job. I need a new relationship. I need a new dog. My dog is about to croak over. I want another one. I don't care what you say. If you haven't, say it. This is a safe space. We have to come up for each other. And the only way we're going to build as a unison is to figure out what we feel like in unison, what we feel like is not serving for us. So if you feel like I need a new house. I don't care if you've been living in apartments for 30 years. She want a house. Give her a house. Give her a house. I don't care what it is. I want a new crystal. I want a new shirt. I'm tired of wearing the same clothes. I've been homeless for this amount of time. I've been getting abused. I've been getting this. Put it out. Stop holding it in. Put it out. And for all y'all that see what these people say, you go to each person and you say, I affirm something better for you. After everybody got out their obstacles, their pains, you go to each person, you type, listen, at you, I affirm something better for you. I affirm something better for you. I affirm something better for you. Oh, we're not going to utilize terms better and worse, naughty duality. Listen. God cares not about the journey, it's just the destination. Yes, we can use a full, concrete, tight statement like, I affirm what's serving for you. But no. We're going to meet these people where they are. They want a better life. Show up for these people. Show up. Today is not just about you watching Nadiie. Today is you showing up. You said 33s. You say you want to stand in the light and transcend. Show up for your people. At the very least, show up for your spirit family. I see the 33s. I'm going home. Stop it. It's not possible to go back as clean as you left. Catherine, everybody, after y'all got done affirming everybody, after y'all got done loving the light, you love Catherine. This is us showing up. Catherine _kiss _ with the kissing emoji. Catherine's. She said, stop it. It's not possible to go back as clean as you left. Y'all, everybody, you at Catherine and you say, I affirm something better for you. Show that love. I affirm something better for you. Catherine, if you don't believe you can go back to heaven as pure as you left, I'm not going to subscribe to that. I'm going to know that you can. I'm going to know that you can. So the moment we get over ourselves, You're going to see a sea of people, a sea of your spirit family saying, Catherine, we love you. And we're going to wait for you until you remember. You that girl. You that girl. You her. Catherine, you're untouchable. Unf-wittable. Okay? We're not playing these games like we can't go back to heaven as pure as we left. What is this? I affirm something better for you, Catherine. And so it is. Moving on, getting straight to it. Moving on, we're not even gonna, nah. Catherine was talking about how can you put an unattainable goal on people like that? Nah, Catherine, it's very attainable. It's very attainable. When Jesus was around, they thought what he was talking about was unattainable. When Buddha was around, they thought what he was talking about was unattainable. When Gandhi and Malcolm X and Martin Luther was around, they thought that what they was talking about was unattainable. They got it. They did it. When are we going to realize that we are enough? There is nothing unattainable. Only we get in our own ways. Nobody would have ever imagined Malcolm X would have gotten as big as he did. Nobody would have ever imagined Martin Luther would have gotten as big as he did. Jesus, Buddha, Thoth, Krishna, Horus, all these. Nobody would have known that they would have gotten as big as they did. They wouldn't have gotten to that level if they thought their goals were unattainable. Even if it seems so far-fetched and unrealistic, they was like, I'm going to just show up and see what happens. It doesn't hurt to just show up and see what happens, because when you show up for the light, something happened. I promise you that, Catherine. And so Caden said, okay, I will give you my sins. Caden, there ain't no such thing as sins. You're sinless. What we're doing is, when you say you're going to show up for people and you say you want to be a light worker, at the very least, you can support your spirit family. We're all spirit family. At the very least, you can show up for your peers. And this smoky mirror stuff that we got going on earth, not want to help each other, it's not that we don't want help from other people. We just don't know who to talk to. Well, if we're in a live that is of the light, it's a safe space. You can finally get that statement off that you've been wanting to get off. You can finally ask for that help. It's about showing up for one another. It's not about like believing in sins or not believing in sins. It has nothing to do, because sin isn't real. You are that which is source's abundance. You do no wrong in the eyes of source. What matters is when you say you're a light worker, at least show up for the people around you. That's what matters, Caden. So I'm going to show up for you. I'm going to show up for each and every one of you. That's why we're doing this for 7 days. On the 8th day, we're going to integrate the light. Today, day 2 is all about collaboration. Look at this. You got T.Y. Breezy. I'm repping all angel numbers all the time. Y'all stay blessed. We love you. Christopher, you're on point, my brother. I love you. We have Jesus. Oh, I love that name. Jesus asks, where you get this info from? Remember, today is collaboration. So even if you want to hear what Nadiie has to say, Nadiie will say it. But if you have the answers, talk to your spirit family. Pardon me. Talk to your spirit family. If you know you have the answer. If Jesus asks, where are you getting this information from? He's talking to me. And you know he's getting it directly from God. Y'all tell him. It's simple. If you know, if you got some information and you let's say your mind's eye open and you like, oh my God, he channeled this little bit from this star system. I don't get caught up in all. I know what's going on, but I don't get caught up in all the terminologies. But if you know what's happening at the people, he got the information from this. I see his light, his aura is bright, and only these type beings are bright. But like a divine law, what you see is what you are. Whatever your answer is, I don't care if he got his information from a potato. I don't care. At least try to answer it. Just show up. Even if you don't know the answer, just rock. Just try to figure out. Just be like, Source, be with me. Source, guide me to seeing as you see. And then just channel. That's what channeling is. When we channel, we don't know what's going to come through. It just comes through. And when we feel like we're about to pause, Source pushes us back out and say, no, I'm here with you always. Source, A.K.A. God. We got George for one. George says he's afraid. Listen, George, we are with you. By my name, I affirm something better for you. You need not fear. And this goes for everybody. Even though we're speaking to what you think is one aspect of who you are, you need not fear. It's okay. It's simply okay. It's okay to feel however you feel. Utilize it as a tool if you must, but no, you need it not. For the world would tell you so many fallacies. It's time for you to recognize what the truth is, and the truth is who you are. Anytime you feel afraid, and this goes for everybody, even though we're speaking to one person, anytime you feel afraid, put your hands on your heart. Anytime you feel afraid, put your hands on your heart. Remember that your heart is beating. Be present. You don't got to send energy from your hands, so you don't got to do none of that. I mean, it'll work and it'll help. You don't have to. You just remember, because when we're afraid, we're either thinking about the future or we're thinking about the past, or we're separated from what's actually going on. When we're afraid, sometimes we just need to recognize, put our hands on our heart and recognize, I'm actually okay. Nothing is actually happening to me right now. Caden said, Google. Are you getting your information from Google? No. I mean, I ain't gonna lie to you. I got some information from Google, like how birds make nests. Because yesterday I was talking to my wife about it. I was walking in the job and there was this tree. It was like a little small tree, and they had a little nest. And it had mud in it. It was so perfectly symmetrical on each. I'm like, how did a bird make this? And how long did it take? So I ain't gonna lie to you, buddy. Caden, I do be using Google because I did not know how birds made nests. Yes, I'm all knowing and all of it. I ain't know how birds made nests. I actually was interested. And I was like, let me look at this up. Let me see what's going on. Jesus said you live in a fantasy land. And? I'd rather live. See, look, when people say that, it's like, and you wouldn't? You would rather live in a world where Hollywood is doing whatever they're doing to these kids. You would rather live in a world where all this craziness is going on. You would rather live in a world where people think they're separate from God. You would rather live in that world when there's obviously a better place for us to go to by first recognizing that you are the light. If we all in unison understood what the truth is, right, which we do, and we all made the decision to go to the light, it's done. And if that light said there's only one rule, and the rule is to become the light first, come here as clean as when you left, then perfect. I'm gonna try to my absolute best. We're gonna slip up, all right? We may or may not, but you have people that know, like, yeah, I'm gonna slip up. If you step on my foot, I might say it hurts. I know I'm a God present being, and but toes ain't real and body ain't real, all of this. But they stepped on my pinky toe. Okay, get it out. If someone hurts your feelings and make you cry, nobody can make you do anything. You have to affirm that choice. But if you affirm the choice and say, I'm going to cry right now because what you said did not make me feel good. If you say that, it's fine. We're going to slip up. It doesn't mean that you have to stay there, though. Heaven is a fantasy land to some people. But so if you're saying, by you saying you live in a fantasy land, Jesus, they're basically saying you live in heaven. And I'd rather live in heaven than live in a place that think they're not in heaven. Somebody said, Trent said, prepare for something all of us have seen and dealt with for all of this earth. Trent, buddy, you're on to something here. Look, see, that's what I like to see, y'all. Make sure y'all read these comments. Look, Trent talking about, he said, preparing for something all of us have seen and dealt with for all of this earth. Yes. Even though the sentences might be a little, what he's essentially saying from our interpretation is we've been dealing with this. We're in the Aquarius age. Every age a new master comes up. If y'all actually study galactic histories and study the spiritual histories, not just earth histories, you will find out every single age a new master was just went to the scene. But it's very curious because in this age, the age of Aquarius, is not just one master. Lots of masters are coming up. Each month, a new master, and they're reaching new heights. But now we have to stand up and say, listen, we're tired of our masters getting thrown in prison. We're tired of our masters being manipulated. Right now, we have to take a shift. Right now, we got to shift. Because how we've been going about it Yes, it's the light, but we got to make a shift. And the shift is when Nadiie comes up and says, listen, you don't have to be aggressive. You're so powerful, even if someone was to swing a sword your way, the sword would break. The sword would disappear. You have to show up like that. Like the nonviolent peace movements. The reason why, when, you know, I remember Dick Gregory was talking about him and his son. They was marching in front of people with all of these guns in front of them. And he was saying, listen, these people had every intent to transition us to the next life. But because we kept walking and looked them face to face, eye to eye, they all dropped the guns and got scared because they seen the face of God. Your presence. So yes, Trent, we've been dealing with this. But now, you know, it's about a remembrance. You know, George, you're going to make it. You're going to be good. I affirm it. By my name, George 41. George 41, you got it. By my name, I affirm it. It's simple. Straight like that. I know who I am so much that I have the confidence in the knowing that when I say it, it is so. I may not be the grandest person and the most richest person in the world. I may not have all your materialism, but I know how I affect the realms of spirit. So by my name personally, I've made this personal. George 41, and everybody that feels afraid, everybody that feels like they have an obstacle, everybody that feels like they can't make it, by my name, I affirm that you can make it. By my name, I affirm that there's no obstacles. By my name, I affirm that you are enough. And so it is. Period. Can I get an and so it is in the chat? May I get an and so it is in the chat? Please. I love you. I affirm what is truth. I affirm that everybody in this live and everybody in this world that even has the one good thought. If you had at least one good thought and made at least one good action, I affirm that all that is sources abundance and all that is sources of will shall shower your life. And so it is. May I get an and so it is? From the people in the back to the people in the front. May I please get an and so it is? Show up for your people. I've been saying this for months. Lady Tice. May I say your name right? Hopefully I do. Hope ain't real. I've been saying this for months. I'm sick of the Matrix. Hell, exclamation point. She's not playing. Sick of it. I'm sick of watching people be lost. Lady Tice. If I'm saying your name right, pat on the heart, pat on the back. We're all tired of it. And the fact that you're here, clap it up. The fact that y'all all are here, clap it up. Everybody, look. Watch how powerful. I'm going to show all y'all how powerful y'all are, right? This is fun. I love being in the light. Like, it's actually fun. It don't got to be so serious. You don't got to be like, oh. Like, we do that, but, like, you don't got to be so serious. We're the light. It's fun. Everybody, show up. Everybody be present with us. Be present, right? We're going to do something collaborative, okay? On the count of 3, we're all going to take a very deep breath, and we're going to exhale when we feel like it, all right? After we take that deep breath, we're going to take another deep breath and bring our shoulders all the way up, and I'm going to guide you through this, and we're just going to drop them down. Just release it. And we're all going to say, I made it. Okay? We're back. I got a little phone call. All right, so 1, 2, 3, everybody take a breath, all right? 1, 2, 3. Deep breath, everybody. Release whenever you feel like it. Okay? Take one more deep breath. Raise your shoulders. Drop your shoulders as hard as possible. On a count of 3, everybody say, I made it. 1, 2, 3. I made it. On a count of 3, everybody say, it is done. 1, 2, 3. It is done. Say it with your mouth. Say it out loud. Say it to the people in the front, to the people in the back, to the spirits, to the animal totems, to your peers, to your friends. On the count of 3, say, it is done. 1, 2, 3. It is done. Y'all know how powerful that is? Y'all know what we just affirmed? We already won. If y'all want to perceive winning and losing, we already won. It's already done. Ain't no need to play these games with people no more. We won. We just did something collaborative. We're all across the planet. We didn't even need to astral project to do that. Back in the days, they had to astral project to do that. It's done. That's how powerful you are. And when we said that, don't go against it and be like, well, I don't know. Don't doubt. Stand in that. It is done. It is done. All the malarkey, the pain, the lost energy, the fakeness, the dark energy, all of it is done. It's over with. We're bringing them light. We are the light. It's done. Don't doubt it. It is what it is. All right, y'all. We're going to answer some questions. How we can wove. We don't say concluding or ending. We say woving. How we're going to wove all of this together is we're going to say a prayer, or A.K.A. divine statement in our native tongue. I'm Sikh Sika. All right? That means Blackfoot in English. We're going to say a prayer in our native tongue. We're going to continue that prayer. Before we get to that prayer, we're going to just read these comments. We may answer them. Because we answered a lot through presence. But the point of all of this was when you see a question that you know you can answer it. It's about collaboration. We don't want people to just come here for Nadiie. We want people to come here because the community. It's like, nah, I went there to go watch Nadiie, but bro, like 35 people answer my questions in like 35 different ways. I was like, oh, snaps, everybody in here a master. It's a force. It's a consciousness. We're going to be the living representation of the collective consciousness. And when you go into the collective consciousness, there's answers everywhere. We don't want answers to just come from what you think Nadiie is. If you have an answer, say it. We love it. We looking at y'all comments, y'all. Ain't nothing gonna happen just like the last one. Alec, listen. You absolutely right. Ain't nothing gonna happen. Because we just affirm it ain't gonna happen. Actually, I could care less, male or woman creator. Yeah, it's like, it doesn't matter. The creator is infinite energy. Talk to him, Narissa. Or Narissa. What is God's real name? God's real name? Ooh, you get deep. Hey, what DJ? Yeah, you get deep. You get real deep. What is God's real name? You can't hear it with the ears. You can't say it with the English tongue. It's a presence. It's something that you know. When you go into the realms of spirit, you'll just know it. It's not something that can be said, but we meet each other where we are. We'll just say God, we'll say source, we'll say Allah, we'll say whatever it is. It's a knowingness, though. After I read all of these comments and see what's going on, we're going to say our native prayer. All of this is for the eclipse. Day 1 was all about knowing who we are. The video is downloading. It's taking a little while for the TikTok videos to download, but it's when I download, I'm going to make sure I download this one, and we're going to post both of them on my YouTube page. When you click the link in my bio, it's going to say Nadiie Black YouTube. That's my music. You have to go to Nadiie Black's guidance. When you click on Nadiie Black's guidance from the link in my bio, then you'll go to my spiritual YouTube page. It's basically everything on here, but on YouTube. But now, since we're doing these live classes, we're going to post those there. So after I read everybody, if you get your last questions out, everybody type their 33s, everybody type their birthdays, everybody got all that out the way, you feel me? I'm going to read through all of these, and if you know you have an answer for something, answer it. Ask your final questions, because we're going to get to the native tongue prayer, and we're going to wove everything together. Rabbi of Worms talk about meditation and downloads. We love it. Look, Petra Sculptures talk about I affirm myself as a being of light. That's what we let us see. We let us see that. 5 a.m. is my time. Let's talk about it. Somebody said get gas. You talk about gas as in cars or gas as in smoking. Either way, get both of them. I don't do what you do. If you like ganja gun, then go ahead. Go do what you do. TikTok don't like that word, so we're not going to say it again. You think demons going to come out? There's no such thing as demons. There's only aspects of us that we choose to not integrate. And those things morph into something we don't like. There's no such thing as demons. There's no such thing as evil. When you bring the light into... We're going to slowly touch on this topic. And then the astral realms, there's many levels to the astral realms. You can go to the lower levels of the astral realms near the ethers, and you'll find what y'all think demons is, but it's literally just beings that are you, that you did not integrate, the thing that's the secret that you had. And if you have ever hidden any secret or did something that you was ashamed of, that morphs into something that feeds this energy that gets created. And that's what y'all call demons. But if you bring the light, they will try to touch you and their hands will burn. And when you come in and you say, all of this is done, like we said in collaboration, when we said 1, 2, 3, it is done. When you walk into the spirit realms like that, like the lower realms, everybody poofs out because God walked in. So Tone said, read the Bible simple. Don't buy a course to be prepared. Yeah, I mean, you can read whatever you want to read. I mean, we meet you where you are. I mean, you don't need to read anything, because Source gave you all the downloads in every chapter within you. You don't need to be a part of any religion. You don't have to be a part of any structure. And this is actually a free program. This is not something that you have to buy. It's something you show up for, because you can read a book all you want. But if you're just sitting here reading a book while craziness is going on in the world and you're not doing nothing about it, what does that say about you? Yes, you have the information, but you're not utilizing it. At some point, we have to put the book down and apply the information we got to the world. Not just saying, follow us and promoting the religion. It's like, no, in this text, whatever text, these people that we revere were living this way. I'm going to live that way. You really think those beings that y'all revere so much was out here promoting a structure? No, they was promoting what we promoting. Go back home. Let's go back all the way home to God. So at some point, you got to put the book down and say, I'm going to show up. I may not know everything, God, but I know enough to talk to these people to finish my mission. All right, we got lazies in. And after we get done through all of these comments, we're going to, start the prayer. We're going to start the prayer at 10:40. It's Eastern Standard Time. It's 10:38 now. Everybody, 10:40, we're starting the prayer. All right, so I'm going to speed race through this. Read the Bible. We already got through that. People having dreams about the eclipse. Something isn't serious. They're just overthinking about it. It's not as serious as what people think, because we need not thought. But what you must understand is when the collective focuses on something, we can't ignore it. So if the collective feels like something is serious, and it's serious, that's what we must understand. When we affirm something, we make it true. So even if it's not true, like you're right, wasn't lazy. Lay eyes in. You're factual. You're actual factual. But when the collective consciousness is hyper fixated on something, they make it true. So even though we know the truth is this is all good, we're all good, we're all light, we're all source. When everybody around us is freaking out, we can't just scream, "You're good," when somebody's literally freaking out. We have to meet them where they are, coddle them. When a baby is crying, you don't say, "Shut up, baby." Like, no, you pamper the baby. It's okay. We gotta treat our brothers and our sisters like that. All right. Yes. So Two-Face Nami said, "Y'all think we gonna win the whole country and gonna lose? Y'all think we gonna though?" Okay, he missed a word. That's all I was like, what did he say? No, we're not gonna lose the internet. We're good. Will the moon explode? Masturbator. That's a masturbator question. Will the moon explode? The moon will not explode. And if you hyperfixate on it and you grab enough people to hyperfixate on it, you can create a reality where it happens, but it's not going to be my reality. I promise you that one. It's going to be in a dream, and you're going to feel like, wow, this seems very real. It'll be like, it is real, but you can leave. You're going to leave the dream because you're going to realize you actually don't want that to happen. Be honest. Did you struggle with graduating high school? No. I graduated gracefully. I actually got kicked out of one high school because I was talking about the light. And I got out and I actually was living it. I got all the way up to the superintendent's assistant. I was going to school boards, having meetings about changing the curriculum. The superintendent assistant was like, "You're going to have to take that stuff outside." You're absolutely right, though. But they're not going to believe you here. So, I graduated high school just fine. All right, everybody. Let's do this. We're ready for this prayer. It's 10:40. It's 10:40. All right. If you have any other questions, type them in the chat. Everybody in this room is a moderator. Everybody's a moderator. Everybody's at a light. If you know you can answer somebody's question, answer it, because now we're commencing the prayer. All right. If people love this part. Peace unto you all. My name is Nadiie. My intention is to simply bring that which is and your apparent reality for you to choose it or not. It's very, very simple. My goal is to not be in the forefront of anything. My goal is to be beside you. Not in front of you, not behind you, beside you. So today, on the count of 3, everybody take a big, deep breath and hold it for as long as you can and then release it whenever you feel it serves. 1, 2, 3. Release it whenever you feel like you have to. And when you release it, you blow it out. But if you already released it, just take another breath and just blow it out. Blow it out. There's so much power in wind. There's so much power in your breath. Take that deep breath, everybody. Blow it out. Forcefully. Just get it out. You can keep your eyes open. You can keep your eyes closed. Do what serves for you. A.K.A. Pistatuki. Ispamokanan. Nakayat sitsinan. Nakeki mutsitsinan. Nakoka moto sanan. Nina. Nakista. Kitsika komemo. Oh tokenana pistatuki. Nakaikaki masanan. Ikanapi. Nistoapi. Akanisto. Thank you, Source, for guiding us to day 2 of this presence, this realization, this remembrance. Today, we call forth by our name all beings that feel like they aren't on the path, beings that think they are on the path, beings that think they're students, and beings that think they're masters. Today, we call all forth in unison and say, we stand with each other. For today is above anything that this world brings forth as it pertains to duality. Today is above anything that brings forth hates and judgments. We're going to be as a hawk in the sky, above it all, looking at it, willing to make choices that serve or choices that we know what we know. You know what I'm saying? We'll get it real. You be real, everybody. Just be real. So regardless, Source, of how anything may present itself, regardless of the choices that we make, whether we think they're good choices or whether we think they're bad choices, all we know is we're going to show up for one another and bring forth this level of unification, this level of gratitude, this level of love for each and every one of our brothers, our sisters, our mothers, our fathers, because today is about collaboration. As we are this hawk above, circling, willing in any form of decisions, we know that so much so we are in your will, so all of our actions are that of your actions. We anchor and affirm for us, all of us, that I am that I am. I am the child of Source. I am the daughter of Source. I am the son of Source. We affirm what serves for us, but we know in truth that any action that we bring forth, regardless of any title that we associate with ourselves, is the action of your will, Source. We understand and meet and bridge with the beings that call you God, call you Allah, great central sun, anything. We bridge with all of them. We bridge with the beings that feel like they are in the dark. We bridge with the beings that feel like they are in the light. For we anchor the fact that since we are light, we will go to the darkest cave. And since we are light, we will be integrated and in unison with all of the beings that understand what this path is. Right now, we affirm that we are powerful enough to go to the hell realms, come back with souls that are saved. We're willing to go to the light realms, come back with cheers and applause. We're willing to go anywhere and spread this light with no fear, with no consequence in mind, because all we're focused on is going back home. Right now, we're going to present ourselves in such a way that our presence is enough for every single being we encounter. That's what we affirm today. Our presence is enough. Everybody, on a count of 3, say, and so it is. 1, 2, 3. And so it is.